This is the WEOL Diamond Duel, live on WEOL.com and the Chronicle Telegram's YouTube channel. Coming up, the Elyria Catholic Panthers take on the Canton Central Catholic Crusaders. It's brought to you by your North Ridgeville Convenient Sunoco at Center Ridge and Barton Roads. Network Land Title Agency, providing real estate title insurance and escrow services across Ohio. Nick Abraham Buick GMC and Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, Route 57 and East Broad Street in Elyria. Lorain County Community College, real education for good jobs. And by Eco Tree Services, your complete tree care company.
Hey, good Tuesday afternoon to everyone. Hi again, and welcome to WEOL.com and the Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel for today's regional semifinal Division IV baseball matchup in Canton at Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium as the team from Elyria County, the Panthers of Elyria Catholic, find themselves here for the third time in 10 years. And today their opponent, the Crusaders of Canton Central Catholic. I'm Ron Yantz. My partner today, Rocco Nushi. And Rocco, welcome to Thurman Munson.
It's a return for me, my friend. I was here just a short couple of days ago as the season of the Keystone Wildcats unfortunately came to a heartbreaking close at the hands of defending state champion Waynedale. The Golden Bears, a 4-spot on Keystone in the 7th inning to overcome what was a 7-4 deficit heading into that frame. But it's an awesome facility here. EC Athletic Director Jim Piazza telling us that Thurman Munson was one of his favorites, if not his favorite, back in the day. So awesome venue, awesome facility, and hopefully an awesome game on hands here this afternoon, Ron.
Well, if luck is on the side, or if you're a superstitious person, which most people in baseball are, you've got to favor Elyria Catholic today, because every time the Panthers have been on WEOL.com and the Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel this year, 4 times with Jared and I, and once with you and Jared.
Correct.
They're undefeated. They're 5-0.
Yeah.
And you and I are here today, and I saw Bruce Lisicki before the game, and he looked at me and he said, "Ron, let's keep this going." I know he's superstitious because I have absolutely nothing to do with whether the team wins or loses. But in baseball, coming from a baseball family myself, if you believe your socks that are dirty from the game in March are still the reason that you're hitting above 300 now in June, you are still wearing those socks and you haven't washed them yet. So whatever you can do to continue the good mojo, especially when you get to the Sweet 16, and that's exactly where the Panthers are at. They are here after an 8-2 win over Marlington, a game that Jared Kozar and I did a week ago. Their tournament trail run started with you, Rocco. They beat Firelands 8-2. Then they beat Youngstown Ursuline 11-1. And Elyria Catholic is 18-9 coming into this regional semifinal game today. The Crusaders of Canton Central Catholic are 21-5-1, and they move up from Division 5 this year to Division 4. And their tournament trail looks like this. They knocked off Coventry in the opener 6-2. They beat Brookside, yes, the Cardinals of Sheffield Lake Brookside 9-1, and then they knocked off Perry in the district title game 8-4, and that was a Perry team that had won their conference, the Chagrin Valley, with a perfect 10-0 record, and they were 23-7. So the Crusaders are a formidable foe today, without a doubt. They are led by Dan Massarelli. Canton Central Catholic has 3 state baseball championships to their credit, and those have all come in the last 18 years. The first in 2008, another in 2011, and another in 2015. The Elyria Catholic Panthers are led by Bruce Lisicki. Coach Lisicki in his 15th year leading the Panthers. He took a team in 2016 and 2019, and now again in 2026 to the Sweet 16. That 2016 team made it all the way to the regional championship game. They lost in extra innings to Waynedale. And talking to Coach Lisicki this week about that regional run in 2016, he said, "I remember every pitch of that baseball game." And you often do when you lose in extra innings, because everything is so important. But they're back today in a regional semifinal. The winner of this one will face Youngstown Cardinal Mooney. Cardinal Mooney beat Norton in the Division IV semifinal game here at Thurman Munson in the early game today, 2-0. So the winner today plays Mooney on Thursday. We're going to take a moment, step away from the mic. Both teams are lined up on the field here, along the Panthers along the first base line, the Crusaders along the third base line. Hats are off. Everyone's at attention. The national anthem is next. We'll be back.
Hi, Tim Elthwell, radio voice of the Cavs. For several years, you've heard me talk about Eco-Tree Services on WEOL. Recently, I needed trees removed, so of course, I contacted Eco-Tree. They folks, tree it's flawless. Take it from me. When your trees need attention or even require removal, contact Eco-Tree Services. Like me, you'll love their work. Find Eco-Tree Services online at ecotreeservices.com.
Graduation season is here, so make North Ridgeville Convenience Sunoco your one-stop graduation party spot. From crowd-pleasing Little Chet's Chicken to fresh jelly trays, cookie trays, and fully prepared party trays, they've got everything you need to feed your guests without the stress. Stock up on ice and drinks, snacks and desserts to keep the celebration going all day long. For everything you need for your graduate, except the diploma, stop by your locally owned and operated North Ridgeville Convenience Sunoco on Center Ridge and Barton Roads.
Lorain County Community College is where you'll lock in your future success. We've helped thousands of people just like you match skills and experience with a career. We can help you train for a career that is in demand right now. You can even work in your field while taking classes. LCCC will get you prepared, get you credentialed, and get you working. Lorain County Community College. Your goals, your career, your future. Enroll today.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, you're not just a customer, you're family. And this month, you pay what we pay. Right now, get employee pricing on all Ford vehicles. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Ron Janssen, Rocco Nushi. Ron Janssen, Rocco Nushi back with you at Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium in Canton. Division IV regional semifinal game. Today on a beautiful day for baseball. Skies are blue, clouds are white and puffy. The turf, artificial here, is striped green. And the Panthers of Elyria Catholic will bat first. They are the visiting team today here at Munson Stadium. The Crusaders of Canton Central Catholic are in the field, and their defense looks like this. In left field, it's senior Joseph Mile. In center field, senior Lance Volkovsky. In right field, senior Jackson Keene. The infield from left to right, at third base, senior Casey Schoenfeld. Junior at shortstop, Gavin McCune. A senior at second, Dylan Minnie. And a sophomore at first base, it's Brooke Burquin. Behind the plate, another sophomore, Luke Spitzer. And on the mound today, starting in a regional semifinal game, is a ninth grader, a freshman, Joe Stevens. The right-hander gets the start for Canton Central Catholic in this regional semifinal matchup with the Panthers of Elyria Catholic. Canton Central, green, black, and white, their school colors. If it sounds familiar, it should. Those are the school colors of the Elyria Catholic Panthers. The Panthers with a little lighter green in their jersey top, trimmed in white and black, white baseball pants, and stepping to the plate with a scripted Panthers across his chest is leadoff hitter for Elyria Catholic, Zachariah Gaines. Gaines, the senior, hitting .301 on the season, a left-handed hitter. He'll face the ninth grader, a right-handed thrower on the mound for the Crusaders, and we are about ready for the first pitch of the Division IV regional semifinal from Canton. Stevens is ready. Here comes the offering. Gaines swings, pop fly, left field line, chasing, and foul up against the fence. Almost out of play. It's strike one.
Boy, how about Joe Stevens, a freshman for Canton Central Catholic on the bump in a regional semifinal? Hard to believe that, Ron. A lot of experience in this EC lineup. I'm curious to see how that dynamic plays out today.
The 0-1 pitch, it hit Gaines. Gaines had no chance of getting out of the way of that one. So Zachariah Gaines is the first batter up and the first batter on. He'll trot down to first base. He's good. Two lefties back-to-back for Elyria Catholic. Noah Willett, their junior center fielder, now hitting. Gaines Has 13 stolen bases on the year. He's the second leading stoler. Willett puts down a bunt. It's
Look
a
at
beauty.
this.
That could be a base hit, and it is. Noah Willett with a bunt down the third baseline between the mound and third base, and it was a absolute perfectly placed bunt. And 2 are on for EC.
Let me sneak in a quick Nick Abraham Buick GMC, Nick Abraham Elyria Ford key to the game, Ron. And I think coming into this one for EC, you need production from your guys that produce, plain and simple. When you get to this level, playing some small ball like that, moving runners over, and matter of fact, getting a base hit on top of that, I think will go a long way for EC today. That's my Nick Abraham Buick GMC, Nick Abraham Elyria Ford key to the game for the Panthers here today.
So EC with 2 on, nobody out to start this game against 9th grade hurler right-hander Joe Stevens. He's facing the right-handed hitting JoJo Jansura. The pitch, off speed off the plate. It's ball 1. Jansura on the year, hitting .333 coming into today, and he is second on the team right now in runs batted in. He's just 1 behind leader, his teammate, and up next, Ryan White with 24. The 1-0 pitch, back to the hill. They'll look at third, they'll go to third, and they'll get the force out of Gaines at third base. So Jansura could hit it anywhere but there. And that leads into a out at third for the Panthers.
Big thanks to our pregame sponsor. Also, by the way, Ron, your North Ridgeville Convenient Sunoco at Center Ridge and Barton Roads. Plenty of time to stock up for those graduation parties as graduation season is officially upon us.
It brings Ryan White to the plate with 1 out. White, right-handed hitting power hitter. Leads the team in most offensive categories. The pitch to White. Off the plate, called a strike. We've got a great vantage point here at Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium. We are in the press box, so we're up above the field, and we're just off the plate on the first base side. Beautiful view. Here comes the 0-1 to White. Fastball, and White fouls it off. Counts even, 1 ball and a strike.
And those foul balls, Ron, as we joked about with EC Athletic Director Jim Piazza before the game, you notice the netting, it's not super high, so foul balls ricocheted back this direction, have a pretty darn good shot of getting up here, so we may have to play some defense here today, my friend.
A lot of steel, a lot of aluminum here at Thurman Munson, so it's going to rattle the cage. The 0-2 pitch, well off the plate. It's ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to White. Ryan, a junior catcher, wears number 5. Hitting .414 on the season. Leads the team and runs batted in with 25. Also leads them in home run, co-leader, with Amaris with 2. Line drive up the middle off the pitcher's hip. Carries over to first base. Play at first, safe, and throw is into the dugout in first base, and the Panthers will score a run on it. An error on the throw brings home Noah Willett. So Ryan White is going to get a base hit. He smoked a BB shot back to the hill that hit Canton Central Catholic's pitcher in the hip. It caromed off his hip, went all the way over to first base. And the Crusaders' first baseman, Brock Berkwin, fielded it, flipped it to, give him credit, Stevens covering, and it went into the first base dugout where the Panthers are. And Willett came all the way around to score on it.
Now a manager's nightmare to start this game, Ron. If you're Canton Central Catholic, not only is your freshman righty getting tagged a little bit here in the first inning, he's getting tagged quite literally from a physical standpoint as well on that pitch. He's given up runs. Now you got to make sure he's okay. And even if he is, on the other side of this, you still have 2 in scoring position with just 1 down. Really a picture-perfect start here if you're Elyria Catholic here this evening.
So the Panthers have Ryan White on at second after the base hit and then the throwing error. And then all the way over to third is JoJo Jansura. And scoring on it from second base was Noah Willett. So 1 run in, and this is the top half of the first here at Munson Memorial Stadium in Canton. 2 Panthers on and 1 out. The freshman on the hill for the Crusaders of Canton Central Catholic is Joe Stevens. He's a right-hander, throwing to the right-handed Isaiah Amaris. It's a curveball that drops under the hands of Amaris for strike 1. Isaiah, 24 runs batted in. He's got 2 in scoring position right now. Fastball outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to the right-handed hitting senior who's pitching today. So pitchers are opposing each other right now. a 9th grader throwing to a 12th grader. The 1-1 pitch is on its way. Off speed, fly ball left field. Should be the second out of the inning. Under it, catching it, but scoring and tagging from third is JoJo Jansura. So Joseph Meyer caught the fly ball by Amaris, but it was enough to get Jansura in from third base, and the Panthers have their second run.
Yeah, it does the job. Didn't try to do too much with it right there. You heard the boys in the EC dugout making some noise as that one left the bat. Thought maybe it could carry over the left fielder's head there, Meyer, but Joseph did well out there and left to settle under it, but EC gets another. Nice start continues.
So that brings Luke Doss to the plate. Doss is a right-handed hitting senior. Meyer, Stevens, the pitcher, eyes the runners and throws to Doss. It's heat straight down the middle. It's strike one. Elyria Catholic here after a 8-2 win over Marlington in the district championship game at the Pipe Yard in Lorraine. The 0-1 pitch on its way to Doss. Fastball again. This one on the outside part of the plate. Luke didn't like it, but it's called a strike. It's 0-2.
Something to keep in mind, Ron, it came into play in that Keystone-Waynedale game the other day. Anything in the alley, with this turf, that ball's going to hit and skip all the way to the wall, and that's a deep outfield relative to a lot of high school parks, so runners can go.
The 0-2 pitch to Doss, off speed in the left-handed batter's box, so well outside. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. To your point, Rocco, this is a professional baseball stadium. It was built for the Canton Akron Indians back in the late 80s. So straightaway center field's 400 feet. 330 down the lines, 385 in the power alleys. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball under the glove of the diving third baseman into shallow left field, and getting just enough on it was the third baseman Schoenfeld to keep it going into left field, and that held an Elyria Catholic runner, Ryan White, at third base. So credit a nice play by Casey Schoenfeld, the senior third baseman for the Crusaders, to keep the single into shallow left field.
Credit Gavin McCune at short, too, for backing that up in a hurry. Otherwise, runner from second there could have motored all the way around. Instead, they'll keep him at the corners.
So runners at first and third, 2 outs in the inning. The left-handed hitting Mason Knapp at the plate for the Panthers. And a fake throw to first. Everybody's back. It's the fake throw to first, step off, fake throw to third, step off, and the fake throw to first.
You could hear some folks clamoring for a balk, but I think he was okay there.
Pitcher's ready, so are the runners. Stevens to Knapp. Knapp fouls it off. Out of play over the third base dugout.
Saw a balk in that Keystone game that actually nearly hurt Waynedale, but again, Golden Bears able to rally in that one.
Don't mention Waynedale to Bruce Lasicki, the head coach of Elyria Catholic. Here comes the pitch to Knapp. It's outside, stealing on it. Throw into center field, and scoring, jogging home, is Noah Willett. Check that, Ryan White. So White will score on a error by the Crusaders catcher, Luke Spittler. He threw that one into center field. That was well over the infielder covering at second base.
That's one where you're just trying to put too much on it. If you're the catcher, just trying to get your team out of the inning. Instead, you end up costing them another run. And how about these Panthers, Ron? 3 spot already here in this top half of the first. Wow.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. A runner now in scoring position. It's Doss. Here comes the 1-1 pitch inside, and it gets past the catcher all the way to the backstop, and heading to third is Luke Doss. So the Crusaders are imploding here in this first inning. If you look at it, Elyria Catholic has 2 hits. One went off the hip of the pitcher, the other off the glove of the third baseman. So realistically, they haven't hit it out of the infield, and they've scored 3 runs on a hit by pitch, 2 hits, a sacrifice fly, and a fielder's choice. Here comes the 1-2 offering and swinging and missing. Actually, it was the 1-1 offering.
2-1. Now it's 2-2.
Now it's 2-2.
Well, Ron, at this stage, if a team's going to give you extra bases, give you extra outs, you got to take advantage. So far, EC has.
Knapp, the left-hander's ready. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and that's a base hit. Knapp rolls over on a fastball. He sends it into right field in the hole between first and second, and it's 4-0 Elyria Catholic. Well, Knapp did just what he needed to do. And when I say roll over, he was out in front of the pitch. He rolled his wrist through. The wrists were already rolling the bat over, and he just took it right into right field.
Yeah, EC knows they don't have to pummel the ball all over the yard. There's plenty of space out there to make things happen, play a little small ball, and really they've got it working on all cylinders right now here in this first inning. And again, to your point, Ron, nothing's been hit, overly hard right now.
At the plate, Braden Winter. Winter, the number 8 hole hitter in this manager Bruce Lisicki lineup. Takes strike one. Braden, a junior, playing right field today, hitting .203 on the season. Joe Stevens, the 9th grader on the Hills, ready. Here comes the offering. Fastball off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Panthers with 4 runs in the inning. They've now done it on 4 hits. The 1-1 offering. Fastball fouled back. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, boy, if you told Bruce Lisicki he'd have his 8-hole hitter up in this top half of the first inning, Ron, I think he would be ecstatic to hear that pregame.
But I also think he's going to tell his team, remember what Marlington did to us. Marlington sent 8 hitters to the plate in the top half of the first in that district championship game. Scored 2. The next pitch is off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Left the bases loaded. And then EC came back in the bottom half of the first and scored 4. It was a nightmare top of the inning for the Panthers for a lot of reasons. But they were resilient and answered. And they'll just think of that, I'm sure, when they go out to play defense. And that could happen in a moment. Pop up to shallow left, caught by the shortstop, Gavin McCune for the Crusaders. Winter's out, and so are the Panthers. But not before Elyria Catholic scores 4 times in the top half of the first. They do it on 4 hits, and they leave a runner. We head to the bottom half here from Thurman Munson Stadium in Canton. It is Elyria Catholic 4 and Canton Central Catholic coming to bat.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Make sure your investment is protected with Network Land Title Agency. As a locally owned title and escrow company, Network Land Title helps safeguard you from financial loss caused by defects in a property title, giving you peace of mind every step of the way. With services available across all 88 counties in Ohio, their experienced team is ready to help wherever you are. Visit networklandtitle.com today. Network Land Title Agency, safeguarding your investment, ensuring peace of mind.
And the Network Land Title Agency starting defensive lineup for the Elyria Catholic Panthers looks like this. In left field, it's Chase Atkins, Chase a junior. In center field, Noah Willett, also a junior. It's an all-junior outfielder. In right fielder, it's Braden Winter. And then in the infield, it's nearly all seniors. At third base, JoJo Jansura. At shortstop, Luke Doss. At second base, Zachariah Gaines, all seniors. And then the lone non-senior in the infield, Mason Knapp, he's a junior. Behind the plate, Ryan White, the catcher, a junior. And on the hill, Isaiah Amaris, a senior. And Jared and I saw him in the district championship game. And the top half of the first was, well, in a word, awful for him. But he made it out to live to fight another inning, and he ended up pitching a gem. In that district championship game, he faced 8 batters in the first inning, walked 4 of them, gave up 2 runs, got out of it, left the bases loaded. The second batter of the inning got a base hit. Amaris did not give up a hit for the rest of the day. He pitched a 1-hitter, a complete game, 7 innings, gave up only those 2 runs in the first inning, walked only 1 more batter after that first inning, and he struck out 11. And at one point, Rocco, Isaiah Amaris retired 15 Marlington hitters in a row, and that included 19 of the last 20 hitters he faced in the game. So talk about resiliency, talk about digging deep, talk about guts. Isaiah Amaris displayed that like an All-American in the district championship game, and he gets to start today.
Well, sometimes you just got to get settled, too, right? Sometimes different venue that you haven't played at before, maybe in quite some time. You got to get your footing right on the bump. You got to see, how the other team's going to approach you, because remember, they're here to win, too. It takes 2 to tango, so we'll see how Amaris fares here at the top half of this Canton Central Catholic lineup. And these Crusaders, Ron, you just know, given their history, success within their program, they're not just going to roll over just because EC put up 4 in that first inning.
So it's the bottom half of the first. It's 4-0 Panthers. Dylan Minnie at the plate, the senior second baseman, will lead off for the Crusaders. Amaris, the right-hander's ready, and his first pitch is a heater right down the middle. It's strike 1.
Well, that's got some giddy up to it.
Absolutely. Isaiah on the season, now working in his 30th inning. Zach Gaines is the horse of this pitching rotation. Second pitch is a breaking pitch at the knees. It's strike 2. Gaines has thrown 47 in the 3rd innings. Next closest is the young man on the hill right now, Isaiah Amaris at 29.1. The 0-2 pitch, high heat inside. It's a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Isaiah comes into today. This is his 7th start. He's got 3 wins, 2 losses. The 1-2 pitch, he's ready, and it's in the dirt. It's ball 2. Amaris will work out of the stretch. It's one of the things that he switched in that top half of the first against Marlington. He was in the windup to start, and at some point, unnoticed, he switched to the stretch, and he starts in the stretch today. You know, a lot of guys just feel more comfortable there.
Yeah.
And obviously he does. He's got his right toe on the far first base side of the rubber, and here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's outside. It's now 3 balls, 2 strikes. So after starting 0-2, Dylan Minnie has taken 3 straight balls. Amaris working quickly. Isaiah's ready to go, and here comes the throw. It's a curveball. It's a beauty. It absolutely froze Dylan Minnie, and it's called for strike 3.
Well, that's tough as a hitter right there. Amaris, he pumps that first fastball by us, and now you're thinking to yourself, okay, I got to be on it, got to be early, got to be ready to go. And then he just buckles you with a couple of breaking balls in that last one to end the at-bat. My goodness.
That was absolutely a nasty pitch, Rocco.
Froze me.
We've got a great view of it. Casey Schoenfeld, the left-handed hitting third baseman at the plate. First pitch to Casey, pop fly, left field line, going to chase the left fielder. Going back, still going back, and it's over his head. It's fair. Picking it up on a bounce is Chase Atkins, and he throws into the infield, and with a stand-up double is the number 2 hitter, Casey Schoenfeld. I got to tell you, Atkins was in tight in left field. He was playing, it looks shallow. But obviously, again, this is a professional ballpark. As I said before, built for the 1989 Cleveland, Akron, Canton Indians.
Yep.
Bell, Tomey, guys like that played here. But still, he looked really shallow. That was a pop-up that just floated over his head.
It's 330 down the line. That's a lot of ground to cover, even for those corner outfielders.
So runner at second. This is Spittler, their catcher. And Luke comes in advertised as a nasty hitter at the plate. Just a sophomore. The number 1 guy to avoid with runners on base. And the Panthers find themselves facing him with a runner in scoring position at second base. The 1-0 pitch to Spittler. Heat. And he fouls it straight back. Luke, a sophomore. Hitting in the number 3 hole in this Canton Central Catholic lineup. Traditionally, a manager will put what he thinks is his best hitter in that number 3 slot in his batting order.
And is Ryan White okay behind the plate, messing with some of his equipment, unless he's just tying a cleat, which looks to be the case?
We saw Ryan White get hit in the mouth by a pitch ball. It hit the face guard first, but it was heat that hit the face guard, and so it just pushed it right back into his lip, and
it's tough.
His lips swelled up, blood going. They had to pull him for the game for a pinch runner, but just for that, so they could get the blood to stop. And he's just fixing his shin guards, is all he's doing here. But you know, Ryan has he's battled a couple of injuries this year. He started the year. He collided with his first baseman in practice on a pop-up, and it was a bad collision. White got 3 staples in his head, and Mason Knapp had a non-displaced fracture in his jaw. He missed the first 4 weeks of the year in just a practice pop-up.
Oh, my goodness.
So White's tough. He's ready. And the 1-1 pitch from Amaris to Spittler is on its way. In the dirt, White with a drop and block, keeping the runner at second. Counts 2 balls, 1 strike.
Was that head football coach Chase Ferris running that practice with that kind of contact? What was going on there?
You get one guy who takes it in the chin, the other guy gets it in the forehead, stitches in the forehead, fractured jaw.
No thanks.
2 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch to Spittler. That's a beauty. Curveball falls under the hands of the number 3 hole hitter for strike 2.
That bends in, too. That's not just a standard 12-6. You can tell that one breaks in. It starts like it's going right at the righty and then just breaks back in.
2-2. Here it comes. High heat. Ball 3. Count is now full. The most dangerous hitter in the Central Catholic lineup. Elyria Catholic scored 4 runs in the top half of the first. We're now just in the bottom half. 1 out. 1 runner on for the Crusaders. Their number 3 hitter up. Here comes the full count pitch. Fastball with a little bit off of it. It's swung on, bobbled, and the runner is thrown out at first base. So it's Spittler out, strikeout, and then catcher to first baseman, White to Knapp for the second out of the inning. That's an off-speed pitch that absolutely fooled me, and it fooled, more importantly, Luke Spittler at the plate.
Yeah, I figured that was a changeup. Looked like a fastball all the way off the right arm of Amaris there, and then just totally died as it got to the plate. Batter went chasing. Nice job by the EC defense to complete the play on the drop third strike.
So that brings to the plate the number 4 hitter, Gavin McCune. McCune, the junior, with a runner in scoring position. Amaris checks the runner, pitches, and it's fouled off. Strike 1. This stadium named after the Yankee captain in the 1970s, Thurman Munson. Canton native, went to Lehman High School, Kent State University. College Player of the Year, drafted by the Yankees, became the American League Rookie of the Year, then became an American League MVP. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's in the dirt. It's blocked by Ryan White, counts 1-1. He won 3 gold gloves for the Yankees, Thurman Munson did. You mentioned him already as Jimmy Piazza's favorite player, number 15. Here comes the pitch again, well in the dirt, way out front, and this one's going to move the runner to third. So the 1-1 pitch is in the dirt, bounces in off the face mask, and Casey Schoenfeld skirts into third base. So he's a pass ball away from scoring a run. Counts 2 balls, 1 strike. There are 2 outs in the inning. Canton Central Catholic trying to battle their way back as Elyria Catholic scored 4 in the top half of the first. Amaris is ready. Here comes the 2-1 offering. It's heat, it's high, and it's ball 3.
I think it's one of those things where if you're Isaiah on the bump for EC, you can't be too afraid to challenge some of these Crusader hitters, but in that same breath, Ron, you don't want to serve up a meatball either.
3-1 pitch to the number 4 hitter. Fastball, and it's fouled straight back out of play. And we'll do it again.
Ultimately, he's going to have to trust that fastball today because you can't just float in off speed expecting them to be fooled on it each and every time. Eventually, they'll time you up, so you got to trust that fastball. You got to trust you can get it by, guys.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Amaris kicks, fires. It's in the dirt. White again with a nice stop. He's throwing that off-speed pitch, that curveball that has been a beauty for most of this inning, but to McCune specifically, bounced in the dirt well in front of the plate 3 straight times. So McCune with a 2-out walk. He's on at first base. Jackson Keene, the senior right fielder for the Crusaders, is now at the plate. And the sun is out here at Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium. Beautiful day. For a regional semifinal game in Division IV, throw over to first, and back safely is Gavin McCune. The runner at third is Casey Schoenfeld, who had a double. Second hitter of the inning, and with 1 out, he hit a fly ball over the head of Chase Atkins in left field. First pitch to Keene is on its way. It moves Keene off the plate. It's high, and it's ball 1. That game last week in the district title game for Amaris, as he looks at the runners, and here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's high again, 2-0. Was his first game in a while because as a pitcher, he had a ligament that was pulling away from a bone in his thumb, and he hadn't pitched in several games up until that point. Next pitch, the 2-0 pitch is fouled back. He felt good enough to throw, but it was going to be let's see how it goes type start. And as I've mentioned already, the top half of the first he was nearly pulled. I mean, he was a batter away from being pulled. The Panthers had warmed up a reliever in the bullpen. He was ready to go, and it all worked out. The 2-1 pitch, fastball, or curveball rather, and it swung through, and it's 2-2. So this is his second. I mentioned that his innings were at 29.1, and the leader was Zach Gaines at 47.1. That's almost a 20-inning difference.
Right.
That's significant, right?
Well, and Gaines was tremendous in their district semi against Firelands.
And that's one of the reasons why that ligament in his thumb, the 2-2 pitch, again, breaker. This one outside. Counts now full.
When around, sometimes those ones that, I don't want to call that a nagging injury, right, but those ones that you can maybe kind of sort of play through, those are almost more frustrating than just having one that you're out, because then okay, I got to rehab or I got to take care of this or that. With those ones you can maybe play through, it's tough sometimes to make that mental decision one way or the other.
The 3-2 pitch, fastball hit to left field. Atkins coming in on it. It was spanked, but Chase comes in and makes a nice play. Chase Atkins with the one-hand grab to retire the Crusaders. They leave 2 runners on, one at first, one at third. A double doesn't work out. We go to the top of the second. It is 4-0, Elyria Catholic.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy. Whether you're upgrading to a rugged Sierra or a refined Buick Encore GX, we make the experience better from start to finish. Right now, lease the 2026 GMC Sierra for only $229 a month for 24 months. We make it that easy.
Graduation season is here, so make North Ridgeville Convenient Sunoco your one-stop graduation party spot. From crowd-pleasing Little Chet's Chicken to fresh jelly trays, cookie trays, and fully prepared party trays, they've got everything you need to feed your guests without the stress. Stock up on ice and drinks, snacks and desserts to keep the celebration going all day long. For everything you need for your graduate, except the diploma, stop by your locally owned and operated North Ridgeville Convenient Sunoco on Center Ridge and Barton Roads.
Ron Janssen, Rocco Nucci at Canton's Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium on an absolutely beautiful Tuesday afternoon for high school baseball. Youngstown Cardinal Mooney beat Norton 2-0 in the semi here at Munson before this one. So the Mooney Cardinals are in the regional championship game on Thursday, and they will play the winner of this game, Canton Central Catholic and Elyria Catholic. Now, Mooney and Central Catholic played each other in the regular season. Neither club pitched their ace in that game, a game that Mooney won. And from what I hear from the Central Catholic coaching staff, we're not seeing their ace today either. They won with their ace in the district championship game, and that's Gavin McCune. And we may see him today, but the freshman started the game. Opening the second inning, a harmless ground ball hit off the bat of Clifford Hemlinger to second base. And Dylan Minnie throws it over to his teammate at first, and there's the first out of the inning.
That's so tough as a manager or a head coach, isn't it? Kind of deciding how you want to orchestrate your rotation throughout the postseason, trying to predict matchups and what can happen. It's just so tough to try to figure out that exact right move.
Well, the other thing is Elyria Catholic sends the top of their order up. Zach Gaines now at the plate, the left-handed hitting leadoff guy. First pitch to Gaines is inside in the dirt, ball one. And the other tough thing for Canton this year, Central Catholic, the Crusaders, started the year, their top pitcher was Nolan Bunner. Bunner, a junior right-handed thrower, I guess a real ace. But he was hurt and didn't pitch the whole season. He came back just a couple of games ago and threw an inning. So he is clearly a wait-and-see, work in progress. Mm-hmm. You know, you may see him at some point today. He was the season ace to start but has been injured the whole year. Gaines, fly ball to left field. Settling under it is Joseph Meyer in foul territory, and it's the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 down for the Panthers here in the top half of the second. On the flip side, Rocco, talking to Bruce Lisicki, he really believes he's got 7 guys. He believes he has 7 pitchers. I said to him, who do you have that you feel that you could throw at this level, meaning Sweet 16 regional semifinal game? And he starts off
7
with
guys.
Amaris and Gaines, and I thought maybe it would end at Willett. Here comes the first pitch to the left-handed hitting Noah Willett, because Jared and I saw Noah Willett. It's high and outside for a ball against Midview. Left-hander, really solid pitcher. Willett at the plate. The 1-0 offering to him is high again. It's ball 2. And he goes, All right, Amarise, Gaines, Willett, my number 3. Denegard, my number 4. Ganford, my number 5. Patton, my number 6. And I'm laughing, and he goes, no, seriously. He says, I think that these guys – and he said, you know what? He says they all, for a different reason, maybe not come in, start hoping to complete game 7 innings.
Right.
He said, but all for a different reason, I would feel comfortable playing in a Sweet 16 game.
Yeah.
The 3-0 pitch is taken. It's high, ball 4. So Noah Willett works a 4-pitch, 2-out walk, and the Panthers have a runner on for JoJo Jansura.
Boy, that's confidence in your guys right there, right? We talk about how maybe 1 or 2 stud pitchers, more so in softball than baseball, but either or, really, that can kind of carry you. The fact that you have 7 guys that you feel confidence at this point putting up there on the bump, that says a lot. And I'm sure his guys feel that from him as well.
Absolutely you do. I mean, when your manager shows confidence in you, it helps you so much. First pitch to Jansura is fouled off on the right field line. JoJo, a right-handed hitter. In his first at-bat, he hit a fielder's choice back to the mound. They had runners at first and second to lead off the game. The Panthers did, and JoJo hit one right back to the mound, and they forced Zach Gaines at third. Stepping off the rubber is Joe Stevens, the 9th grade starter today for the Crusaders. On at first with 2 outs is Noah Willett. Panthers scored 4 runs in the top half of the first. We're now in the top of the second. It's 4-0. Here comes the pitch, and it's sent into right field, and it's going to chase the right fielder down the line, and it's just foul. Holy moly, that was going to roll all the way to the line, but it fell just foul. You can see the black rubber pellets, not the dirt here, but the black rubber pellets that splash up from the turf when the ball hits it, and that black rubber pellet splash was just off the right field line.
Boy, and with, we've talked about it, the deep dimensions here, you certainly figure Willett scoring from first on that, and who knows where Jansura ends up as he would have ran, but
he's definitely third, and you maybe even flirt with an inside the park if it skirts all the way up to the corner.
Because the right fielder's coming in on that, too.
Just a foul ball. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Jansura. A tough one to take, just off the plate. It's called for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tight zone so far, one could maybe argue, Ron Jans.
We've got a great angle. This is a wonderful place to call a game. Stevens' pitch, it's off the plate, heat low, and the count's now even. Second inning, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Good on you for finding the window prop as well, my friend. That was something that eluded Zach Sprague and I a few short days ago.
I searched the press box for anything.
Good on you.
Wooden stick, twig from a tree. I found a metal shelf pass ball. Gets by the catcher on the 2-2 pitch, and moving down to second now is Noah Willett. So Willett's in scoring position, and the 3-hole hitter, JoJo Jansura, has worked the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs.
Boy, Spittler's had his hands full behind the plate for the Crusaders so far through an inning and change. Goodness.
That one looked like he was mixed up, meaning he was expecting, almost like he was expecting an off-speed pitch, and he got heat outside, and he just didn't get his glove over fast enough.
I'm shocked that didn't lead to a meeting then.
Skipped off the edge, and here we go. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Stevens is ready, so is Jansura. Here comes the pitch, and JoJo hits it to straightaway center, and this is going to finish the inning. Underneath it is Lance Vlakovsky, the senior center fielder, and the Panthers go out without scoring a run. The 4 in the top of the first still stand, though. It's 4-0 Elyria Catholic as we head to the bottom of the second.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, you're not just a customer, you're family. And this month, you pay what we pay. Right now, get employee pricing on all Ford vehicles. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Are you undecided about your future and overwhelmed by the options? Well, don't worry, you're not alone. Lorain County Community College has helped thousands of students just like you find their future career. From short-term training programs to transfer options all the way to bachelor degrees, our programs are designed to set you up for future success. Lorain County Community College, your goals, your career, your future. Enroll today.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy. Whether you're upgrading to a rugged Sierra or a refined Buick Encore GX, we make the experience better from start to finish. Right now, get the 2026 Buick Encore GX for as low as $24,890. We make it that easy.
It's Ron Yance and Rocco Nucci here at Canton's Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium. From our view in the press box, not only do we see the expansive field in front of us, but you can also see 77 south and north. This stadium sits just a little bit south of the Pro Football Hall of Fame and just a little bit south of Canton McKinley High School. If you know Canton, you know exactly where we're at. A beautiful day in a beautiful park built about, well, let's see, 36, 37 years ago, as the Cleveland Indians put their AA team in the Eastern League here in this park at Thurman Munson Stadium, the Canton Akron Indians. Leading off the bottom of the second for Canton Central Catholic will be their senior center fielder, Lance Vlavkovsky. For Vlavkovsky, this is his first at bat. On the hill is Isaiah Amaris, and his first offering is heat on the corner, but just a bit outside, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Amaris in that start against Marlington for a district championship went all 7 innings. Second pitch, heat inside, moves Vlavkovsky off the plate. It's 2-0. He walked 4 guys in the first inning and then didn't walk but just 1 for the rest of the game. The 2-0 pitch, heat low, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Now, he walked McCune in the first and then went full on Jackson Keene before he got to fly out to left field. And now he's worked his way back, 3 balls and 1 strike with the heat right down the middle. Amaris working quickly. Here comes the 3-1. And it's high and outside. And a leadoff walk for Lance Vlavkovsky.
It's what you want to avoid, I think, here today if you're Amaris. Obviously, way easier said than done when you go against a lineup of this caliber. But, again, I go back to something I said in that first inning. I think if you're Isaiah, you got to attack a little bit more consistently, throughout the course of the ball game, because these Crusaders, they'll time you up and figure you out. Well,
especially attack to the bottom of the order. I mean, let's just be honest. You're hitting 7, 8, and 9 for a reason. So come right at those guys. Here's the number 7 hitter. It's Joe Stevens, a 9th grader. Stevens, the opposing pitcher. He swings at 1 and misses. It's strike 1. Joe steps out of the box, right-handed hitter, adjusts his helmet. Now he's back in. Amaris looks at the runner at first. It's Lance Vlavkovsky. He's set, working from the stretch. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's in the dirt. Skips to Ryan White, stealing on it. And in safely is Vlavkovsky at second base. Lance gets that stolen base, even if it's a clean pitch to White, I think, because he had a great jump on Isaiah Amaris.
Yeah, had him timed up perfectly. Not much you can do about that.
So the Crusaders with a runner on at second. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the second. Stevens, the 9th grader at the plate. The senior on the hill. Here comes the pitch. It's outside. Oh, they're going to call a strike. Man, that looked well outside. You heard the moaning of the Crusader fans. 1 ball, 2 strikes. If you're a Panther, you'll take it. Amaris working quickly. Sneaking in at second is the shortstop. Amaris looks to the plate and now stepping out, calling timeout. Just as Amaris was starting to throw it, Stevens got the timeout in the right-handed batter's box. So we'll do it again.
Well, you have Vlavkovsky and Doss out there at that second base bag. They're having a nice tango.
Again in the dirt. That off-speed pitch, I don't know if it's a curveball that is giving him the struggle, or if it's some sort of slider that he's trying to throw, but it is consistently 3 feet in front of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. Again, in front of the plate, skips by Ryan White all the way to the backstop. And checking into third is Vlavkovsky. So a stolen base and a wild pitch after a walk has the Crusaders with a runner on at third and nobody out. And a full count on Joe Stevens.
I mean, he threw a couple of really sharp curveballs in that first inning, but I think you're right, Ron. Really, since then, they've all skipped well in front of the plate, and that last one got away from White, and Crusaders a chance to do some damage now.
Tight pitch, 3-2, heat high, just high. Tough one to take. I think Stevens was fooled on it. He looked for off speed. He got a heater that he was not ready for, and it was just high, and he'll walk down to first base. So back-to-back walks to start this second for the Canton Central Catholic Crusaders, and the junior catcher, Ryan White, is going to call timeout and gather the entire infield on the hill. Runners on the corners for the Crusaders. Lakovsky's on at third and Stevens at first, both via the walk to start this bottom half of the second.
Quick reminder, tomorrow night we'll have more regional semifinal action. In Division 2, it'll be Amherst taking on Brecksville Broadview Heights. I'll have the call for you guys along with Jared Kozar over at Oberlin College. 5 o'clock is the scheduled first pitch time tomorrow. Amherst and Brecksville Broadview Heights D2 regional semi.
Amherst is ready. Brock Berkwin at the plate, left-handed hitter. First pitch to him, throw down to second, and out at second. No, they're going to call him safe. The tag must not have been applied because the throw was there well ahead of the runner. And nobody's going to argue, and that includes Luke Doss, who applied the tag.
He must know.
So Luke must know he missed it.
Well, that's a great throw from Ryan White, isn't it? My goodness.
Well, it would have been a huge out. The runner stayed at third. So runners at second and third. The 1-0 pitch, fastball outside part of the plate, caught it for strike one. The number 8 hitter, sophomore first baseman Brock Berkwin, facing 1-1 against Isaiah Amherst on the hill for EC. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It's outside, ball 2. Amherst on the year coming into today in 29 1/3 innings had walked 19 and struck out 46. The 2-1 pitch fouled back. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Big pitch here, man. If you can get Berkwin out without any damage, bring up the 9-hole hitter, maybe do something there.
Rocco's big pitch on the way. It's a curveball hit to second base. Run will score on it. And making the out at first, it's Gaines over to Knapp, and there's 1 out in the inning. And trotting home for the Crusaders is Casey Schoenfeld. Moving to third, take that back. Moving to third was Joe Stevens. And scoring was Lance Lakovsky. I went back to my first inning line when I said Schoenfeld. Number 9 hitter Joe Meyer now at the plate. Takes a fastball just under his hands. Inside, it's ball 1. 1 out in the inning, 1 run in, another runner at third base. Amherst ready to go. Checks the runner at third, and here it comes. Kick and fire, and it's inside again. 2 balls, no strikes. Whether he works his way out of a jam or not, he is piling up the pitches. And Bruce Lisicki, his manager, is going to call timeout and head out to the hill to talk to his senior right-hander.
Yeah, he's just missing right now, Ron. Really nothing more or less to it than that. We talked about the off-speed, skipping well in front of the plate after he had spotted it well in that first inning. Now he's starting to miss in and up with that fastball as well. And I think if you're head coach Bruce Lisicki here, this is almost more of a, hey, are you all right? Like, is there something going on, as opposed to, here's what you need to do to attack these guys, because it's still early. He knows the game plan. I don't think anything's changed on that front, but you just got to find a way to throw some more strikes right now. That's all there is to it.
Talking to Bruce this week as I prepared to, and this week meaning yesterday because today's only Tuesday, they went to practice yesterday not knowing if Amherst would start tonight or not, whether it would be Amherst or Gaines. And they were going to let him throw, meaning Amherst, just off to the side, and determine whether he felt that thumb felt right to go. And Bruce texted me after practice last night and said, Isaiah's going to go. So here he is. 1 run in, foul ball back. Count moves to 2 balls, 1 strike now on the number 9 hitter, Joseph Meyer.
Tell you what, decent EC turnout here as well, considering they had an hour and a half and maybe even more than that to get here for a 5 o'clock start, as opposed to Canton Central Catholic, who had, a 10-minute commute thereabouts?
Yeah. 10 minutes exactly. Pitch to Joe Meyer, 2-1, fly ball, shortstop. This will keep the runner at third. Under it is Doss, and that's the second out of the inning, and that's a huge infield pop-up to keep Joe Stevens standing at third base. Well, back to your 10-minute ride for Canton Central Catholic. I got here at 3:30. Elyria Catholic's here. The Youngstown Cardinal Mooney Norton game's still going on. Panthers are sitting in the bleachers here. I went looking for Canton Central Catholic because I needed to talk to Dan Mazzarelli, their head coach, about pronunciation, starting lineup. First pitch to the leadoff hitter is outside to Dylan Minnie for ball 1. Couldn't find him. I find their athletic director. He says they're not here yet. And I joked with him, and I said, well, where the heck are they? And the 0-1 pitch or the 1-0 pitch is a fastball for a strike. It's now even 1-1. And he said, we are only a 10-minute ride. He said, so they're literally taking batting practice at our field right now, and then they're going to jump in the bus and come over.
Wow.
The 1-1 offering with 2 outs in the dirt. White keeps it in front of him, and the runner, Stevens, stays at third base. Well, it gets to be 20 minutes before Canton Central Catholic is scheduled to take infield. They're the home team. And they're not there yet. And the Northeast Ohio director, the tournament director, looks at the athletic director, who I'm standing next to at the time, and says, hey, where are they? And he calls the next pitch is high. It's ball 3. So 3 balls, 1 strike on Dylan Minnie with 2 outs and a runner at third here in the bottom of the second for the Crusaders. Minnie steps out of the box with a timeout. So the AD calls the coach. He says they're pulling up in the parking lot right now. And everything worked out. But your point, they were in no rush because they knew they were only 10 minutes away.
Why would you be?
Yeah.
I would do the same thing.
Here comes the 3-1 offering. It's a fastball, little number, third base line. It will roll foul. My partner said, because if that didn't land and take a spin, which is what it did, it took a hard spin to the left off the line. JoJo Jansur's got no opportunity. That's an infield base hit, and another run comes home for the Crusaders. But it's just a foul ball. And the count is now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That was easier for Jansura to see, I'm sure, than some others that have gone his way. But that's still a heads-up play to just watch it, let that one go foul, knowing, to your point, you're not getting the speedy runner at first.
And Maurice is ready, and here comes the full count pitch, and it hops in front of the plate again. That hops. I mean, Ryan White deserves some kind of gold glove after today's performance, and he's only in the bottom of the second. White, the backstop, literal backstop for Elyria Catholic. So it's the 3rd walk of the inning, and it's the 4th walk of the first 2 innings for Isaiah Amaris, the senior starter for Elyria Catholic. Now, I can't see. It does not look like there is anybody warming up for Elyria Catholic as we look down that right field line. Runners at first and third, the number 2 hole hitter who hit a double, Casey Schoenfeld, in his last at bat at the plate. He's ready. Amaris is ready. And here comes the first offering. It's inside, ball 1.
Well, to your point, Ron, White popped up right as Schoenfeld was coming up to bat, and I was thinking maybe that would be it, that they would go get him, but instead he was just signaling something to his defense with the hand signal, so maybe something on defensively with Schoenfeld up here.
Amaris working quickly. He'll throw over to first, and back safely is Dylan Minnie. So Schoenfeld hit what looked like off the bat just a routine pop fly to left field that Chase Atkins would come under, but it just kept carrying, and it chased Chase, and he couldn't catch up to it, and it was a double. The 1-0 pitch swung on. This is trouble. Little number back to the hill, and Amaris fielded it, tried to tag the runner coming home, but dropped the baseball, and everybody's safe. Off the bat, you knew that was going to be a problem. Really, Isaiah made the smart play, the only play he could make, try to field that and tag the runner, because catching it, stopping, throwing across his body all the way across the field to first base probably wasn't going to happen because Schoenfeld was a left-handed hitter. So I think we're not the official score. It's probably going to go base hit.
You think you have to. I don't think you can hit
they marked
it with
it an
error.
They put an error up on the board.
Did they? Wow.
They gave him a base hit, though, and then an error. So the error on the tag when he dropped the ball.
Okay.
So 2 in for the Crusaders, and they're still hitting. And now it's Luke Spittler at the plate, and Luke looks at ball 1.
Boy, and you might have to think that this could be it for Amaris, regardless of how this inning ends at this point, because I think Canton Central Catholic starting to figure this out a little bit. Oh, boy.
And he just hit Spittler. I don't know where they're warming up, if they are warming up, but I still don't see anybody.
Jim Piazza saying nobody out there warming up.
So a hit by pitch loads the bases and brings up the number 4 hitter, the cleanup guy, the junior, Gavin McCune. The inning has gone like this: walk, walk, ground out, pop up, 2 outs. There was a run batted in on the ground out, so 2 outs with run in. Then another walk, and just a little nubber off the end of the bat that scored the second run. And Elyria Catholic desperately needs their 3rd out here. First pitch to McCune is a fastball, and deep breath. Everybody exhales if you're a Panther. So Amaris is up in the count, no balls and 1 strike. Gavin McCune, the right-handed power hitter, stepping in. Here comes the 0-1, and McCune swings through an off-speed pitch that came in right on his hands, and it's 0-2. Excellent pitch from Amaris. He's shaking his head on the hill right now.
Well, that's what we saw that whole first inning. He just hasn't had it that way much of the second inning.
He's ready to go. Here comes the 0-2 offering. It's Heat, lined back up the middle. That's a base hit, and that's going to score 2, and it's going to tie the game. Throw into home is well late. 2 runners score for Canton Central Catholic, and we're locked at 4. So a big 2-out, 0-2 base hit that scores 2 for Gavin McCune for the Crusaders.
You knew they wouldn't go away, Ron. I mean, you knew they would not go away, especially with how early this. I mean, we're still just in the second inning, so this, buckle in, folks. This could be a bit of a long evening down here in Canton, but you knew this team, with how good they are, the program success, they weren't rolling over today.
Well, McCune was sitting on heat, and he got it, and he smoked it right back up the box. Runners at first and second. The inning is still in the balance here in the bottom of the second. First pitch to Jackson Keene, the 9th hitter in this inning, is off the plate for a ball. Keene lined out to left in his first at bat. Amaris's pitch is in the dirt, saved by White again.
And I'm with you, Ron. I know you keep peeking over toward that bullpen area, but boy, this looks like Amaris's jam to try to just get out of right now. And EC needs that more than anything.
2 balls, no strikes. 2 on, 2 outs. Here comes the offering from Amaris, and it's a ground ball to JoJo Chansur, and JoJo is going to beat the runner to the bag. Force out to end the inning. It took 9 batters to get 3 outs, though. Canton Central Catholic ties this game. They score 4 in the bottom of the second after Elyria Catholic had scored 4 in the top of the first. And we head to the third, locked at 4. We'll be back.
Hi, Tim Elkhorn, radio voice of the Cavs. For several years, you've heard me talk about EcoTree Services on WEOL. Recently, I needed trees removed, so of course, I contacted EcoTree. They did an incredible job. The folks at EcoTree were timely, efficient, and the work was flawless. Take it from me. When your trees need attention or even require removal, contact EcoTree Services. Like me, you'll love their work. Find EcoTree Services online at ecotreeservices.com.
Are you undecided about your future and overwhelmed by the options? Well, don't worry. You're not alone. Lorain County Community College has helped thousands of students just like you find their future career. From short-term training programs to transfer options all the way to bachelor degrees, our programs are designed to set you up for future success. Lorain County Community College. Your goals, your career, your future. Enroll today.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy. Whether you're upgrading to a rugged Sierra or a refined Buick Encore GX, we make the experience better from start to finish. Right now, lease the 2026 GMC Sierra for only $229 a month for 24 months. We make it that easy.
We are tied at 4 as we head to the top half of the third inning here from Canton's Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium. Elyria Catholic 4, Canton Central Catholic 4, the Panthers and the Crusaders. They traded innings when they put 4 on the board. For Elyria Catholic, it was the top half of the first. They scored 4 runs on 4 hits. For Canton Central Catholic, it was the bottom of the second. They scored 4 runs on just 2 hits. They got 3 walks and a hit batter in the inning to aid in their effort. So we start the top of the third with the cleanup hitter, Ryan White, at the plate for Elyria Catholic, and he takes ball 1 from 9th grader Joe Stevens on the hill. Stevens, 1-0 offering, off speed, line drive, straightaway center. and under it, right at Lance Levkovsky for the first out of the inning. So White hit it on the button. He just hit it right at the center fielder.
So now if you see this dynamic has totally changed in this game. You were in the driver's seat. Momentum has totally shifted back towards the guys from this city of Canton in Central Catholic. So you just got to put that second behind you, put together some good at-bats. That was a nice one there. You just didn't get the results, but still plenty of ball game to go. No reason to panic. Just got to pick yourself up a bit.
This is Amaris at the plate for Elyria Catholic. Takes ball one. Isaiah on the year has 24 runs batted in. He's hit a triple and 2 home runs. The 24 ribbies, second on the team. The 2 home runs and the triple tied for the team lead with the guy in front of him, Ryan White. The 1-0 pitch is high again. It's 2-0. And not that he could hit a home run in this park. Maybe he could. I'm not sure many high school baseball players could hit a home run in this park. But, boy, wouldn't he love to untie this game right now. The 2-0 pitch is on the outside part of the plate. All heat right now. That one's a called strike by Joe Stevens.
Well, that wind blowing toward us as well, Ron, if you take a look at that center field flag. So that makes it extra tough to try to muscle one.
The 2-1 offering fouled off down the right field line. It will fall out of play. Yeah, Rocco, that American flag blowing directly at us from center field, and we're just off the plate on the first base side in the press box. The dimensions again here at Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium. Down the line's 330. In the power alley's 385, and straight up the middle it's 400. So this is Major League style baseball. Fly ball right field. Shallow right. Back is the second baseman. Calling for it and catching it is the Crusaders' Dylan Minnie. And there are 2 outs in the inning.
A lot of fly balls right now off the bat from EC since they kind of exploded in that first inning. So maybe just need to get back to leveling out that swing a little bit. Just try to hit it where they're not.
Well, Luke Doss did that in his first at-bat. He had a line drive that went off the glove of a third baseman that was moving towards the hole. It was a hard-hit ball that Schoenfeld at third for the Crusaders almost made a great catch on. And it was a base hit for Doss. First pitch he faced was a ball. Here comes number 2. It's fastball outside. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs for the Panthers, top of the third. We're locked at 4 in a regional semifinal in Division 4 from Canton. 2-0. Joe Stevens is ready. Here comes his 2-0 pitch. It's a fastball. It's popped up. Shortstop is under it. This should end the inning. Gavin McCune will bring it in. And it's 3 up, 3 down for Elyria Catholic. No runs, no hits, no errors. We head to the bottom of the third. Panthers 4, Crusaders 4.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Make sure your investment is protected with Network Land Title Agency. As a locally owned title and escrow company, Network Land Title helps safeguard you from financial loss caused by defects in a property title, giving you peace of mind every step of the way. With services available across all 88 counties in Ohio, their experienced team is ready to help wherever you are. Visit networklandtitle.com today. Network Land Title Agency, safeguarding your investment, ensuring peace of mind.
Hi, Tim Elkhorn, radio voice of the Cavs. For several years, you've heard me talk about EcoTree services on WEOL. Recently, I needed trees removed, so of course, I contacted EcoTree. They did an incredible job. The folks at EcoTree were timely, efficient, and the work was flawless. Take it from me. When your trees need attention or even require removal, contact EcoTree Services. Like me, you'll love their work. Find EcoTree Services online at ecotreeservices.com.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, you're not just a customer, you're family. And this month, you pay what we pay. Right now, get employee pricing on all Ford vehicles. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Lance Flakovsky will lead off the bottom of the third for Canton Central Catholic. Game's tied at 4. On the hill to start this bottom of the third, the young man who started the game, senior right-hander Isaiah Amaris.
That surprise you?
A little.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
I'm with you.
Maybe he's on a short leash.
Yeah. Well, that's no knock on him. I mean,
No.
like you said, against Marlington, he found a way to bounce back after one rough inning. But
First pitch is high heat, and it's off the plate, ball 1. Lukowski, in his first at-bat, walked. He led off the second. He eventually scored. That's a line drive to the gap in left center field. And coming over and stopping it and holding Lukowski to a single with a nice play is Chase Atkins. Anything in the outfield to the gap or down the line today, if it gets by the outfielders, it very realistically could be an inside the park home run.
Keystone's Wyatt McKee plugged the gap the other day when Zach Sprague and myself were here. I thought, Ron, that he could run all the way to Dayton by the time the fielders eventually got to it.
Was it an inside the park home run?
No, he ended up settling for third,
yeah.
but
one out, showing bunt, and now pulling back. It's a ball on a high fastball is Joe Stevens. So the first runner on a base hit for the Crusaders. Elyria Catholic trying to advance to their first regional championship game in 10 years. And running on the pitch, swinging through it, throw to second from White. Nice throw, but sliding in safely is Lukowski. That's his second stolen base in as many tries this afternoon.
That was a bang play. I thought Gaines bobbled him. He caught it clean. I thought he got the tag down maybe in time, but again, no argument from anybody out there. So
the Crusaders get what they want without giving up an out. Now let's see if they give up the out to move Lukowski to third base. Stevens showed bunt, pulled back on the first offering. Amaris is ready, checks the runner. Now looks at home, looks back at the runner. Now comes to the plate, and not bunting is Stevens, and he takes high heat. He had to move back. If he did turn to bunt, that one could have hit him in the face because Amaris maybe thought they were going to try to bunt again, so he threw high, tight, and hard. 2-1 pitch, and stepping off the back of the rubber is Amaris.
Was that David Fry for the Guardians just last year? Tried to square around off Tarek Skubal and ended up bunting one straight into his face just about.
That's why you never really want to square. You just want to foul back right over our head. You can hear the aluminum bounce on top of us. You just kind of want to take that back foot actually and pull that back a little, and the lead one you just kind of have an angle, because if you square up, you've got no chance to defend yourself.
Okay, coach.
Yeah. Well, and these guys know that. I'm not telling them anything that they don't know, and certainly not David Fry. But and there's a pitch in the dirt, and it gets by White, the catcher, and moving to third without the sacrifice is Lukowski. So that's happened a few times. Pass ball / wild pitch. And I give Ryan White all the credit in the world. He has been a workhorse back there. He's dropping and blocking more than he's just sitting catching, a typical pitch.
Well, and even with that, though, Ron, and again, trying not to dig too much on Amaris, but you're just giving the Crusaders too many bases right now, whether it's via the walk, pass ball, wild pitch, whatever. It's just too many free bags right now.
Full count pitch on its way.
And another one.
Crusaders have the first 2 on here in the bottom half of the third. To the plate, the left-handed hitting first baseman, Brock Berquin.
I think Bruce maybe is going to go get him now.
Bruce Lisicki making the walk to the hill from the dugout.
Yep.
And he's going to bring in his shortstop, Luke Doss.
There's a Gaines he's going with from second.
He looked like, to me, he pointed towards short, but we'll see. Those are the 3 options for certain. Amaris, who's leaving the game, Doss and Gaines, the next 2. See who he hands the ball to. So Isaiah's day is done on the hill. I'm guessing he'll stay in the game. He's one of their most valuable players on this very successful team.
Oh, yeah, he was tremendous defensively in the game we had against Firelands. Number of great plays from short, I believe he played that day.
So it's going to be handed to Zach Gaines.
Gaines, yeah.
So that'll probably move Doss to second. We'll see how that ripple affects. And Amaris will change his glove and come out and play shortstop, or maybe just go in and get a swig of Gatorade or water and come back out. So Amaris's day is done. Gaines is on the hill, trying to keep the Crusaders right where they're at first and third. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy. Whether you're upgrading to a rugged Sierra or a refined Buick Encore GX, we make the experience better from start to finish. Right now, lease the 2026 GMC Sierra for only $229 a month for 24 months. We make it that easy.
Lorain County Community College is where you'll lock in your future success. LCCC will get you prepared, get you credentialed, and get you working. Lorain County Community College. Your goals, your career, your future. Enroll today.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, you're not just a customer, you're family. And this month, you pay what we pay. Right now, get employee pricing on all Ford vehicles. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Graduation season is here, so make North Ridgeville Convenience Sunoco your one-stop graduation party spot. From crowd-pleasing Little Chet's Chicken to fresh jelly trays, cookie trays, and fully prepared party trays, they've got everything you need to feed your guests without the stress. Stock up on ice and drinks, snacks and desserts to keep the celebration going all day long. For everything you need for your graduate, except the diploma, stop by your locally owned and operated North Ridgeville Convenience Sunoco on Center Ridge and Barton Roads.
So the Panthers fighting and crawling right now to keep this game locked at 4. A pitching change has occurred. And on the hill right now for Elyria Catholic is Zach Gaines. Gaines, a senior, right-handed thrower, and has logged the most innings in this pitching rotation for Elyria Catholic this year coming into today's regional semifinal. And he's logged them by a lot. He's got 47 in the third innings. The next closest was the young man, teammate that he replaced, Isaiah Amaris, at 29.1. He inherits runners at first and second, and his first pitch is a fastball down Main Street at strike 1. Nobody out in the inning. We're in the bottom of the third. The game's tied at 4. Panthers scored 4 to lead the game, top of the first, and the Crusaders answered with 4 in the bottom of the second. Gaines throws to first and back safely. At first base is Joe Stevens. Gaines on the year in his 47 and a third innings has 5 wins and 3 losses, and his earned run average is 3.697. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out, 2 on. Gaines looks in. Throws over to first base again. Gaines is ready. Here comes the 0-1 offering. Off speed, little flare. Shallow left. Back is the shortstop, Amaris. He'll catch it, and he'll hold the runner at third. 1 out in the inning.
Well, I don't know how he got a piece of that one. Literally just threw the bat head at it. And you said it, just flared that to shallow left field. So it's a big out right there for Gaines. Maybe you roll one and get out of this jam now, but a lot easier said than done.
That brings Joseph Meyer to the plate. Meyer, the number 9 hitter in manager Dan Massarelli's lineup today. Canton Central Catholic, 21 wins, 5 losses, 1 tie on the season. They are here after an 8-4 win over Perry in a district championship game. They're up from Division 5 this year. Canton Central Catholic is. Throw over to first again. Everybody's safe.
Yeah, they made it all the way to the regional final last year.
And they've won 3 state championships since 2008. Runner going, and there will be just a throw to shortstop. Amaris actually misplayed it, but everybody's going to stay in place. The runner, Stevens, will move up to second. There was no play on the bag. It was one of those pop-up fire to shortstop plays that was not bid on by Lance Slavkowski, who's the runner at third base. So now 2 in scoring position for the Crusaders with their number 9 hitter, Joseph Meyer at the plate. The 1-0 pitch is a curveball that drops in for a strike. Canton Central Catholic in Division 5 won state championships under head coach Doug Miller in 2008, 11, and 15. The 1-1 pitch is in the dirt. It gets by White. It's going to come all the way to the backstop. That was a wild pitch, and it's going to score another run. Wow.
And again, Ron, I mean, we've said it, but this Canton Central Catholic team, and really any team at this stage, they're just too good to give runners and give bases, all these little mistakes and errors. They pile up in a hurry in games like these, and EC's finding that out.
And there's a base hit. The next pitch is a base hit to left field, scores another run. So Joseph Meyer, the number 9 hitter, he gets a solid single to left. And there are 2 runs now in for the Crusaders here in the bottom of the 3rd.
And that should officially close the book on Isaiah Amaris, as he was responsible for both of those runners to start this inning.
So he'll get credited as the Crusaders have Dylan Minnie, the top of the order, up. Throw to first, back safely as Meyer. So the line on Amaris in this game, the regional semifinal, 2 innings pitched, 6 runs on 3 hits. He walked 5, hit a batter, and struck out 2. Running on the pitch, White's throw down, nice throw, and out. Wow. At second base is Joseph Meyer. So Ryan White gets the second out of the inning on a real nice throw to his shortstop, Amaris.
Boy, what a day for Ryan White. I mean, he's battling for his life trying to keep some of those pitches in front of him, and an absolute bullet down to second base right there.
0-1 pitch, low and away. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Dylan Minnie on the day today, the leadoff hitter, struck out looking in his first at-bat, then walked and scored a run in that 4-run second inning. Next pitch is in the dirt, scooped up by White. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 in the inning are in for Canton Central Catholic, and they have broken through. They have now scored 6 unanswered. They lead 6-4. Curveball on the 2-1 pitch, counts even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Panthers scored 4 in the top half of the first. They did it with 4 hits. And the next pitch is a punch out. So the inning is over, but not before the Crusaders score 2 more. So it's now the Panthers fighting from behind with some work to do. We head to the top of the 4th. It's 6-4, Canton Central Catholic.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Make sure your investment is protected with Network Land Title Agency. As a locally owned title and escrow company, Network Land Title helps safeguard you from financial loss caused by defects in a property title, giving you peace of mind every step of the way. With services available across all 88 counties in Ohio, their experienced team is ready to help wherever you are. Visit networklandtitle.com today. Network Land Title Agency, safeguarding your investment, ensuring peace of mind.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy. Whether you're upgrading to a rugged Sierra or a refined Buick Encore GX, we make the experience better from start to finish. Right now, lease the 2026 GMC Sierra for only $229 a month for 24 months. We make it that easy.
Lorain County Community College is where you'll lock in your future success. LCCC will get you prepared, get you credentialed, and get you working. Lorain County Community College. Your goals, your career, your future. Enroll today.
9th grade starter Joe Stevens on the hill for Canton Central Catholic, after a rough first inning, has now retired 4 in a row and 7 of the last 8 hitters that he's faced. The only one that he has not retired was a 2-out walk to Noah Willett in the second inning. He'll face the bottom of the order for Elyria Catholic here on the top of the 4th. Home plate umpire asks for the music to get cut.
Hey, as a former audio operator for the Akron Rubber Ducks in minor league baseball, there's no worse feeling than having to be scolded in the press box by the home plate umpire, Ron.
In front of God and
the
everybody.
Bottom 5 feeling right there.
First pitch waved at and missed by Mason Knapp at strike 1. Yeah, the home plate umpire literally had to turn around. I mean, everybody's ready to go. And give the cut sign back to the press box.
That's a lowly feeling right there. It's not quite as bad as when the guys launching the hot dogs are late getting off the field from the mid-inning promotion, but it's close. It's close.
No ball, 1 strike on the leadoff hitter Mason Knapp, the Panther first baseman. Mason, in his last at bat, had a single to right field.
You're saying 1-0?
Now the Crusaders manager Dan Massarelli is going to come out and ask what the count is.
Well, something happened right
has
there.
Been thrown.
Yeah, something happened right there. There was a conversation between the batter, the catcher, maybe the pitcher even, and the home plate umpire, and I don't think head coach Dan Mazzarelli is going to love whatever explanation he just got, but so it is 1-1.
It's 1-1. Was a balk called? That's the only thing that you could get the ball on. There's no pitch clock like in the minors or in the majors.
Right.
And there was no demonstrative balk called either by a base ump or by the plate umpire. But the hands of the home plate umpires say 2 balls, 1 strike now on this next offering. Stevens is ready to go, and here comes the 2-1 pitch, and it's a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mason Knapp in the district championship game against Marlington had a hit, and he knocked in 2 runs in a 4-run first inning for Elyria Catholic. He'd like to lead off this 4th with a base hit, swings through one, and he's down swinging. So that's the first strikeout for a Panther hitter in this ballgame.
It's almost hard to believe with how good Stevens has been since that first inning.
At the plate, looking at ball 1, is Braden Winter, the junior right fielder. Braden hit number 8 in the Panther lineup today, flew out to shortstop in his last at bat. Stevens working from the stretch, and he's ready to go. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's high and outside for ball 2.
Boy, just a base runner feels like it would go a long way for EC right now, wouldn't it, Ron? Just in terms of momentum and trying to bring yourself back to life in this game.
They had a base hit in the top of the 1st by Knapp, and that was the last time they had a base hit. We're now in the 4th inning with 1 out. Next pitch is fouled off. It's 2 balls, 1 strike to Winter.
Well, and you mentioned it, kind of the inverse of that Marlington game with them, right, where Marlington has the real nice first inning and then Amarise kind of gets settled after that. It was EC with the hot start today, and now Stevens for the Crusaders. Give that young man credit. Just a freshman. He's really settled in.
He's ready to go, working off the stretch and fouled straight back. Counts even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Winter hitting from the right side, hitting .203 on the year. Panthers as a team hitting .283 on the season as a team in 27 games. Now they're 28th. Waving at it, missing it badly, but getting by everybody and all the way to the backstop. It's a strikeout, but on at first on the wild pitch is Braden Winter. So Winter got fooled badly on a pitch that was so far outside and in the dirt that the catcher couldn't even get to it. But it works out in favor of the Panthers.
You'll take that right now. If you're EC, you will absolutely take that. And let's see if that can get a little something going. Now you get the 9-hole hitter, but maybe some new life this inning from that.
Emlinger grounded out to second in his first at bat. He's going to hit it to second base again. Fielding at second, throwing to first, and trying for the double play and getting it. How about that? Canton Central Catholic, Minnie to McCune, over to first to Berkwin, and that's a double play to end the inning. Wow! We head to the bottom of the 4th. Panthers down 2.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy. Whether you're upgrading to a rugged Sierra or a refined Buick Encore GX, we make the experience better from start to finish. Right now, get the 2026 Buick Encore GX for as low as $24,890. We make it that easy.
Graduation season is here, so make North Ridgeville Convenient Sunoco your one-stop graduation party spot. From crowd-pleasing Little Chet's Chicken to fresh jelly trays, cookie trays, and fully prepared party trays, they've got everything you need to feed your guests without the stress. Stock up on ice and drinks, snacks and desserts to keep the celebration going all day long. For everything you need for your graduate, except the diploma, stop by your locally owned and operated North Ridgeville Convenient Sunoco on Center Ridge and Barton Roads.
Lorain County Community College is where you'll lock in your future success. LCCC will get you prepared, get you credentialed, and get you working. Lorain County Community College. Your goals, your career, your future. Enroll today.
Ron Janssen, Rocco Nucci along with you from Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium in Canton. Rocco, in another life, I used to cover games here on a regular basis in the late 1980s and early 1990s when the Cleveland Indians had their Double-A team here, the Canton Akron Indians. Yep. And guys like Jim Thome, Charlie Nagy, and at the time Joey Bell played here in Canton for the Double-A Indians out of the Eastern League. First pitch of the bottom of the fourth is a fly ball hit to Chase Atkins in left field, and the Panther left fielder is under it for the first out of the inning. That was Casey Schoenfeld who hit it. So there's one up and one out.
Ron, I think with you it might be easier to develop a list of places, things, events, what have you, that you didn't cover or haven't covered, as opposed to things that you have covered in your illustrious career thus far.
I was blessed to be in the right place at the right time. Next pitch to Luke Spittler, the number 3 hitter, is outside. It's ball 1. The AA team moved to Canton, Akron in 1989. That's when they built Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium, and that's what it was called from the rip, honoring the Canton native Thurman Munson, who died in that plane crash not far from here in Green Township when he was piloting his own plane, learning how to practice his landings, and the Yankee catcher from 69 to 79 passed away in that plane accident. The next pitch is outside. The count is now 3-1 on Spittler, the catcher for Canton Central Catholic. Here comes the 3-1 offering from Gaines. It's off speed, and it's a strike. Now, the last time that Spittler was up, he got hit by a pitch in the second inning when Canton Central Catholic scored 4 runs. 1 out, full count pitch, off speed again, and it falls in for strike 3. And Spittler, a catcher, knew it. Curveball that fell right underneath the hands. It was a beauty from Gaines, and that's the second out of the inning.
AA Indians only here, a decade, right? Before moving to Akron in 99, if I'm not mistaken?
Well, the Akron Arrows became, let's see, it was 1996. So it was only...
So not even.
Only 8 seasons here, 89 to 96.
Okay.
At the plate now for Canton Central Catholic is Gavin McCune. He's down on the count after a fouled off pitch. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Gaines working from the windup. McCune's ready, and here comes Gaines' 0-2 offering, and it's fastball off the plate, just off the plate. Panthers thought they had it. It's a ball, 1 ball, 2 strike. Yeah, Jim Thome, who made his major league debut in September of 91. He played here in the 91 season. Next pitch is high, counts even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. He played in 84 games here. So he played most of the year in Canton, Akron, then finished up the year with the big league club. 2-2 pitch, ground ball sharply. JoJo Jansura at third base across the diamond. Nice play, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Crusaders. The Panthers will head to the top of the 5th, down 2. It's 6-4.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy. Whether you're upgrading to a rugged Sierra or a refined Buick Encore GX, we make the experience better from start to finish. Right now, get the 2026 Buick Encore GX for as low as $24,890. We make it that easy.
Lorain County Community College is where you'll lock in your future success. We've helped thousands of people just like you match skills and experience with a career. We can help you train for a career that is in demand right now. You can even work in your field while taking classes. LCCC will get you prepared, get you credentialed, and get you working. Lorain County Community College. Your goals, your career, your future. Enroll today.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, you're not just a customer, you're family. And this month, you pay what we pay. Right now, get employee pricing on all Ford vehicles. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Everything's the same as we head to the top half of the 5th. Score remains 6-4, Canton Central Catholic. And still on the hill for the Crusaders, there's their freshman sensation, their right-hander, Joe Stevens. Joe had a rough first. He gave up 4 runs on 4 hits, but he has retired 10 of his last 11 batters. The only Panther to get on base. Well, I take that back. He had a strikeout by Braden Winter last inning, and then Winter got doubled up. So I guess you could say he's retired 9 of his last 11, but 1 was a strikeout that got by the catcher. He's been very effective, and his first pitch to lead off this top of the 5th to Zach Gaines is high for a ball. Ball 1 on the Panther leadoff hitter. Gaines 0 for 1, still looking for his first hit. He'll hit a fly ball down the left field line, chasing the left fielder. It's going to fall fair, and it's going to roll all the way to the fence. Gaines is checking in at second. He's going to round second. He's going to head to third, and he will be safe at third with a leadoff triple for the Panthers leadoff hitter.
Well, there you go. If you're EC, poke one down the line, let Zach run a little bit. Big decision to make that big turnaround second, and he was in there standing, Ron. Not even a need for a slide on that one. That just shows you how fast that young man can run, helping his own cause as he's taking the bump, and let's see if these Panthers can keep it moving now.
You know, that's the second time, Rocco, that what looked like a routine fly ball to left field has turned into, for the Crusaders, a double, for the Panthers a triple. There's a fly ball, deep gap, left center field, but coming in, oh! Sliding catch. Gaines staying at third, tagged, and now scores. Gaines with a heads up. He stood at third.
Yeah.
He didn't count on it being a hit. He counted on it being an out, and he tagged and scored, and that's a big play by the senior Zach Gaines, because it was a sensational catch by Joe Meyer, a sliding catch in left center field for the out, but Gaines did not get caught off guard, and he scored on it.
Yeah, the wind just sort of knocked that down. I thought, to your point, Ron, that was gapping, but wind just totally took the sails out of it.
One out in the inning. Panthers with a run in, and they're one run behind now. 6-5. You can hear the crowd chanting, Joe, 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 Joe. It's JoJo Jansura, the senior third baseman at the plate.
2-0 on him now.
And here comes the 2-0 pitch off the plate. 3 balls, no strikes.
See, just breaking Stevens' rhythm a little bit, right? Get somebody on, get him over, get him in, making him think a little bit now.
3-0 pitch is automatic. Strike one, fastball, outside part of the plate. 1 run in for Elyria Catholic in this top half of the 5th. They scored 4 in the first. They've got 5. And they trail Canton Central Catholic 6-5 here with 1 out in the 5th.
Battle-tested team, Ron. They've been down plenty this season. They know how to dig themselves out of a hole.
Pitch, it's called strike 2. You can hear it like you used to be able to hear Julio. Ground ball, second base. Fielded nicely, and that's the second out of the inning. Dylan Minnie over to Brock Berkwin. 4-3 for the second out for Elyria Catholic. Yeah, back in the old stadium, Municipal Stadium, when there weren't a whole lot of folks there. It's an 80,000-seat stadium. Julio Franco played shortstop, and there was one dude that sat near home plate with the press box up above him and Herb Score calling the games, and you could hear Julio. It just echoed. That JoJo call was reminiscent of that. At the plate, Ryan White. Ryan on the day, 1 for 2. Got a base hit, scored a run in the first, and lined out to center field in his second at bat.
Well, my dad was quite the Julio fan. Maybe it was him.
Could have been. The 0-1 pitch to White off the plate. Curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Heard many tales about Julio Franco in his playing days. Quite the character.
Young man when he came to Cleveland. Might have been a teenager. Might have been a 19-year-old. I'd have to look that up to confirm, but he was young. Next pitch, ball, 2 balls, 1 strike. You had asked when the closing of this was, or the Indians left here. It was 1996, after the 96 season. It's 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs. Here comes the offering. And it's fouled off, and that got me thinking. In 1997, when the Indians moved their AA club to Akron, they became the Akron Arrows. I called 8 home Friday night baseball games that year in Akron with Jim Mueller and Joe Charbonneau.
Very nice.
And the starting pitcher, the 2-2 pitch, ground ball to short. 2-hopper to the Crusaders shortstop, and across the diamond, that's the 3rd out of the inning. It's Gavin McCune over to Berkwin. And the Panthers score a run, though. Leadoff triple by Zach Gaines. Gaines scores on a sac fly from Noah Willett. And the Panthers draw within 1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. It's 6-5 Crusaders.
Graduation season is here, so make North Ridgeville Convenience Sunoco your one-stop graduation party spot. From crowd-pleasing Little Chet's Chicken to fresh jelly trays, cookie trays, and fully prepared party trays, they've got everything you need to feed your guests without the stress. Stock up on ice and drinks, snacks and desserts to keep the celebration going all day long. For everything you need for your graduate, except the diploma, stop by your locally owned and operated North Ridgeville Convenience Sunoco on Center Ridge and Barton Roads.
Hi, Tim Elkhorn, radio voice of the Cavs. For several years, you've heard me talk about EcoTree Services on WEOL. Recently, I needed trees removed, so of course, I contacted EcoTree. They did an incredible job. The folks at EcoTree were timely, efficient, and the work was flawless. Take it from me. When your trees need attention or even require removal, contact EcoTree Services. Like me, you'll love their work. Find EcoTree Services online at ecotreeservices.com.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy. Whether you're upgrading to a rugged Sierra or a refined Buick Encore GX, we make the experience better from start to finish. Right now, get the 2026 Buick Encore GX for as low as $24,890. We make it that easy.
5, 6, and 7 hitters coming to the plate for the Crusaders of Canton Central Catholic here in the bottom of the 5th, and it's Central Catholic that leads Elyria Catholic 6-5. So back to that quick story. So Akron opens up Canal Park in 1997. I'm doing the games with Jim Mueller and Joe Charbonneau, the home television games, which amounted to about 8, maybe 10, somewhere around then. Home Friday night television games. Well, the opening night pitcher, which was a Friday night for Akron that year, was Jared Wright. And if you remember in 1997, Jared Wright moved like a lightning rod through the system. And he pitched with the big league ball club by the time that the 97 season was winding down, and he was so good that the Indians had him start Game 7 of the 1997 World Series. And Wright was the ace of the staff. It was the right move. And I remember covering Game 7 of the 97 World Series. And the first 2 pitches of the inning to Jackson Keene are split 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the next pitch. It's a curveball that falls in for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Keene, the leadoff hitter. I asked Jared Wright the night before he would start Game 7. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt, scooped up by White. If he really stopped to think about where he started the year and now where he's ending it. And he said, you know what? He said, I felt comfortable that first night in Akron, pitching for the AA club. And there's a look at strike 3. So Gaines starts the bottom of the 6th, getting Jackson Keene to look at 3 strikes. And Jared said, I felt comfortable starting the season in the Eastern League in Akron, which was a huge pitching league. And he says, hopefully I'll feel comfortable tomorrow night. And he did. Yeah. He pitched great. If you look at Game 7 stats, he was great. Fly ball center field coming in. Noah Willett with a running catch. 2 outs in the inning for the Panthers. That's a nice catch. Willett lost his ball cap running in so hard. Yeah, Jared Wright gave him solid innings in Game 7. He started that year in 1997 at Canal Park in Akron for the Akron Arrows.
That's just so incredibly rare anymore that guys make that jump from AA all the way to the big leagues. Just in the 1 year anymore.
Gaines' first pitch to the 3rd hitter of the inning, Joe Stevens, is a strike. Stevens on the day, 2 walks. He's been on twice and has scored twice. Ground ball to shortstop. Coming up is Amaris, and Isaiah throws across the diamond. And it's a 1-2-3 quick inning for Zach Gaines and his teammates. 5 innings in the books here in the D4 regional semifinal from Canton's Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium. It's a good one. Canton Central Catholic 6, Elyria Catholic 5.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, you're not just a customer, you're family. And this month, you pay what we pay. Right now, get employee pricing on all Ford vehicles. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Make sure your investment is protected with Network Land Title Agency. As a locally owned title and escrow company, Network Land Title helps safeguard you from financial loss caused by defects in a property title, giving you peace of mind every step of the way. With services available across all 88 counties in Ohio, their experienced team is ready to help wherever you are. Visit networklandtitle.com today. Network Land Title Agency, safeguarding your investment, ensuring peace of mind.
Lorain County Community College is where you'll lock in your future success. LCCC will get you prepared, get you credentialed, and get you working. Lorain County Community College. Your goals, your career, your future. Enroll today.
A new pitcher on the hill for Canton Central Catholic. It's Brock Berquin, a right-handed sophomore. So the Crusaders in this regional semifinal game got 5 innings out of a 9th grader, and now they've handed the 6th and the 7th, or at least the 6th, to a sophomore, Brock Berquin.
How about that?
That's youth.
Wow. Yeah, no kidding. I wonder, Ron, and this is just my curiosity peeking here, if there's any relation for Brock to Sam Berquin, who I'm sure you're familiar with, right? Stark County radio voice, been doing Mountain Union games for quite some time. I'm sure a number of other things as well. Does some high school play-by-play in the Stark County area. Very well known, to say the least, in and around Canton in the greater Stark County area. I believe he is a Canton Central Catholic graduate as well. As his son, I believe, is a senior this year, maybe. So I don't know if Brock has any relation or not.
Chances are pretty good. First offering, ground ball right back up the middle to the shortstop, and a quick out. Isaiah Amaris hit it to short, his opposite number, and Gavin McCune threw him out. 1 up, 1 down for Elyria Catholic. It'll bring Luke Doss to the plate. Doss 1 for 2 today. Had a base hit in that 4-run first inning. He scored the 4th of 4 in that inning, and then he popped up to shortstop in his second at bat. Little number off the bat, off the mound quickly, and the second out of the inning. Berquin fielded it nicely and quickly, and he throws across to his first baseman. 2 up, 2 outs.
I thought that was a pretty darn good bunt that he laid down, too. But to your point, man, Berquin, he made quick work of that. Made it look routine. Some great defense on display here today, I'd say, for both sides, Ron.
Mason Knapp to the plate, the left-handed first baseman for Elyria Catholic. Knapp 0 for 2 today, swinging through the first pitch from Berquin. Boy, I thought that Stevens worked quickly. Berquin gets that ball, and within 3 seconds it's coming, and here it comes again. The 0-1 pitch is called for a strike, so he caught it. He at the front of the rubber, walks back to the rubber.
Look at him.
He's going to step on the rubber, and here comes the next pitch.
Oh,
he does not waste any time. 0-2 is outside, ball 1, 2 strikes. 1001.
Well, you don't have time to think as a hitter.
1003, 1004, 1005. So within 5 seconds, here comes the next pitch, and it's swung through, and the inning's over. Berquin just flexing like a muscle man after a good workout. And we head to the bottom half of the 6th. A 1-2-3 Panther top of the 6th. It's 6-5 Crusaders.
Graduation season is here, so make North Ridgeville Convenience Sunoco your one-stop graduation party spot. From crowd-pleasing Little Chet's Chicken to fresh jelly trays, cookie trays, and fully prepared party trays, they've got everything you need to feed your guests without the stress. Stock up on ice and drinks, snacks and desserts to keep the celebration going all day long. For everything you need for your graduate, except the diploma, stop by your locally owned and operated North Ridgeville Convenience Sunoco on Center Ridge and Barton Roads.
Hi, Tim Elkhorn, radio voice of the Cavs. For several years, you've heard me talk about Eco-Tree Services on WEOL. Recently, I needed trees removed, so of course, I contacted Eco-Tree. They did an incredible job. The folks at Eco-Tree were timely, efficient, and the work was flawless. Take it from me. When your trees need attention or even require removal, contact Eco-Tree Services. Like me, you'll love their work. Find Eco-Tree Services online at ecotreeservices.com.
And that sponsor, Eco-Tree Services, will bring us the post-game show after this one's over. Hopefully it's a happy report on the Elyria Catholic Panthers moving to a regional championship. But right now they got some work to do, and that starts with this bottom of the 6th and this Crusader lineup. They will face the 8, 9, and then top of the order hitters in this Canton Central Catholic lineup. Stepping to the plate is the opposing pitcher of record right now, Brock Berquin. Berquin, a left-handed hitter. 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch from Zach Gaines is ball 1. Gaines working quickly.
Yeah, he is.
Out of the windup. The next pitch is outside. It's ball 2. Berquin on the day grounded out to the second baseman in the second inning, but he knocked in a run when the bases were loaded. Next pitch, called a strike, 2 balls, 1 strike, and then he popped up to the shortstop for the first out of the third inning. We're in the bottom of the 6th, and he's the leadoff hitter. Here comes the 2-1 offering, and it's a ground ball that's going to go through the hole between third and short and into left field for a base hit. So a leadoff hit for the Crusaders here in the bottom of the 6th. My favorite story about covering games here at Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium, though, in the late 80s and early 90s when the Canton Akron Indians were here, is I was down here one day, and I don't know if I was here to do a story on Tomey or Nagy or Joey Bell. I don't remember who I was here to do the story on.
One of them, I'm sure.
One of them. So let's get this pitch in. Throw over to first base is Joseph Myers at the plate, the senior left fielder, and back safely is Berkwin. So Gaines with the ball back, and he's ready to go. Meyer on the day 1 for 2, had a base hit to left field in his last at bat, and Gaines is going to step off the back of the rubber. But at the time, in the late 80s, early 90s, one of baseball's great ambassadors was the home run king, Hank Aaron himself, 755 strong. Gaines is ready. Here comes the first pitch to Myers. Myers will drop the bunt. It's a real good one. This one's going to go for a base hit. Picking it up is Jansur, and he knew not to even offer a throw. That one was not going to be fielded and thrown for an out. That's a base hit just off the plate that Jansur, by the time he was able to get to, it was futile. So the first 2 runners on here in the bottom of the 6th for Canton Central Catholic, and that brings the top of the order up to the plate in Dylan Minnie. So Gaines going to try to work out of this important jam. It's important because we're late. It's the 6th inning. Elyria Catholic with just 1 at-bat left, and they're down a run. They cannot afford to give up any runs here in the 6th. And the pitch to Minnie is called for a strike. A lot of movement in the infield right now.
Oh, no kidding.
Minnie showing strikes, so you got Jansura crashing hard at third base. And you've got Amaris at short sprinting. He's got to field his position first. And he's deep at shortstop towards the second base bag. And he has to sprint to third to cover the bag that Jansura leaves uncovered. Now Amaris is going to come in, act like he's covering second. They're going to throw to second. Sneaking in is the second baseman, Dawson. The throw is back, and safely back is Joe Stevens. So a lot of movement happening in that Panther infield right now as the Crusaders are trying to move runners. They've got him at first and second, and there's nobody out. At the plate, the leadoff hitter, Minnie. You know he can handle the bat. Here comes the pitch. Minnie showing bunt, and he fouls it off. It's strike 2. So now everybody's just going to play back. Minnie could offer on an 0-2 pitch, but if he fouls it off, he's out. Mm-hmm. So oftentimes you don't see it happen on an 0-2 pitch. But he is the leadoff hitter. Him or the number 2 hole hitter, you got to believe those 2 guys handle the bat the best in that 1 through 9 batting order. So it's possible. We'll see. The 0-2 offering, here it comes, doesn't show bunt, swings through, waves at it, and fouls it off. He'll live to swing again. So Hank Aaron happens to be at the ballpark that night, spreading joy of baseball across our great country. So I obviously, naturally, go up to Hank Aaron and say, do you have a minute? You're there real early in the game, especially if you're talking to, a player. You're there at least 90 minutes early. And Hank said, sure. So I talked to Hank Aaron about the usual things that you would talk to him about. And then I say, have you been to Cleveland before? He played for the Milwaukee Braves and the Atlanta Braves. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, as a matter of fact, he gets that big smile and he starts chuckling. He says, I'm a lifelong Cleveland Browns fan. And I said, no kidding.
Get out of town.
I said, tell me the story. He says, I go to games at the stadium and I sit in the dog pound and I'm dressed in a costume and nobody knows that I'm there.
Stop it right now.
True story. He said, I go to Cleveland Browns games and I sit in the dog pound. He said, I became a Browns fan when I was like 12 years old. Let's get this next pitch in. It's the 0-2 pitch from Gaines. Ready to hit is Minnie, and here comes the offering. It's a curveball hit to third. Jojo Jansur is going to field it, run back to third, and he'll tag third with his glove for the force out. And that's the first out of the inning, and he gets the lead runner. So Berkwin will not advance to third. He is out 5 unassisted. And there's one out in the inning. Moving up is Meyer to second, and Minnie's on first base on a fielder's choice. That brings Casey Schoenfeld to the plate, the number 2-hole hitter in this Crusaders lineup. So Hank Aaron was born in 1934. So the Browns in 1946, Paul Brown became the head coach of the Browns, fresh out of Ohio State. The first pitch to Schoenfeld's in the dirt. It's ball one. And Brown said, I'm going to ignore the gentleman's agreement in the All-American Football Conference to not bring black athletes on our rosters. There was like this agreement by owners that they were not going to have black football players on AAFC rosters. Second pitch is a high curveball that drops in for a strike that counts even, 1 ball and a strike. And Paul Brown said, I'm ignoring that. And he brought in Marion Motley, guys like Bill Willis and Len Ford. Well, Marion Motley was a Canton product, played at McKinley High School. Willis played for Paul Brown at Ohio State. Well, the next pitch is a curveball again, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Casey Schoenfeld at the plate. Zach Gaines trying to work himself out of a jam. Checks the runners, looks at second, now looks at the plate, looks at second again, and now he's going to turn around and just step off the rubber. So Hank Aaron is looking for a football team that has black players. Hank Aaron is a young black about-to-be teenager that's interested in sports, and the Browns became his team because of guys like Marion Motley. Huh. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and it's in the dirt, and it gets by White. How many times have we seen that today? A wild pitch, and moving up are Crusaders. So now they've got runners at second and third with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th, and they're up 1 run. So Gaines is going to take the slow walk back to the rubber, and Casey Schoenfeld will step to the plate, even in the count now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still 1 out in the inning. And now the Crusaders with the ever-important runs on second and third. They're up 1 in the bottom of the 6th. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's heat, and it's a ground ball to Jansura. There will be a play at the plate. Throw, slide, tag, and out at the plate. The call was delayed. The call was delayed, 2 reasons. 1, the home plate umpire felt that Ryan White missed the tag, and 2, he also felt that sliding into the plate, Joseph Meyer missed the plate. Now out is the head coach of Canton Central Catholic, Dan Massarelli, saying, you're telling me the catcher missed the tag and the runner missed the plate, the slider missed the plate? And that's what the home plate umpire is saying. He said, everybody missed everything. I delayed the call. And White actually got up and chased Meyer, who was, I don't know, 5 yards past the plate, and tagged him.
Well, and that's really heads-up defense there by Ryan White, because you figure he's listening for some sort of call, right? He needs an audio cue, out, safe, whatever. Obviously, regardless, he needs to pop up and be ready to throw that baseball depending on what the runners do. But he quickly acknowledged, hey, I didn't hear anything. I better reapply this tag so I can get a definitive call. And a definitive call he eventually got. But that's interesting. I mean, I thought certainly there was some contact there at the plate.
Massarelli must have asked for a conference. So the home plate umpire is out talking to the base umpires right now. I cannot imagine what they're talking about. If you're going to ask if the base umpire had a better view of it,
there's no way.
There's no way. Yeah. They're out in the infield. And they're going to stick with the out.
Yeah, as they should. I mean, they're not going to have.
No way you could overturn that. You can't appeal to an infielder. I'm surprised that the home plate umpire even allowed that appeal to happen. So there's 2 outs in the inning. And there are 2 runners on for Elyria Catholic. And at the plate is their number 1 hitter, Luke Spittler.
Superstar photographer Dave Richard to our right. Maybe we'll catch up with him post-game and see what he saw.
Spittler, quick ground ball, and it's an out at third base. JoJo Jansura caught the 1-hopper, and exhale, Panther fans. EC gets out of it. Crusaders don't score a run. Elyria Catholic will come to the plate in the top of the 7th, down a run. They'll have their number 8, 9, and top of the order scheduled hitters next. Stick around.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Make sure your investment is protected with Network Land Title Agency. As a locally owned title and escrow company, Network Land Title helps safeguard you from financial loss caused by defects in a property title, giving you peace of mind every step of the way. With services available across all 88 counties in Ohio, their experienced team is ready to help wherever you are. Visit networklandtitle.com today. Network Land Title Agency, safeguarding your investment, ensuring peace of mind.
Are you undecided about your future and overwhelmed by the options? Well, don't worry, you're not alone. Lorain County Community College has helped thousands of students just like you find their future career. From short-term training programs to transfer options all the way to bachelor degrees, our programs are designed to set you up for future success. Lorain County Community College, your goals, your career, your future. Enroll today.
So to close out that Hank Aaron story before we get to the top of the 7th, so Hank would on a regular basis fly up from Atlanta, put on a disguise, go to the stadium, dressed as, somebody in the dog pound, and sit and watch people swill beer and throw dog bones and root for his Cleveland Browns. And then finally, Ernie, of course, he caught wind of it. And at the time, Ernie, in the late 80s, early 90s, when the Browns were really good, Hank Aaron had obviously been coming to games for years at this point. Ernie, of course, he hears about it, and he says, let's get you in one of the luxury boxes.
Oh, no way.
Because people were starting to figure out that Hank Aaron was in the dog pound. But, I couldn't believe it. And he told it. if we're looking at this field right now, it was right there, behind home plate, when teams are taking batting practice, 30-some years ago, almost 40 years ago.
That's unbelievable.
He told me that story.
Wow.
Top of the 7th. Panthers down a run. They'll bring Braden Winter to the plate, the number 8-hole hitter, and here's the first pitch from Winter, and boy, he almost got hit. And
he
did.
Got
and
some of the
umpire was
jersey.
gonna say he did. So Winter is going to lead off the top of the 7th, and he's going to be on. It got him on the jersey. Moved him off the plate and got enough of that Panther across the front of his EC jersey to send him to first base.
That's huge. Do you get him moving now? Let's see.
Bunt, first base side, fielded by the pitcher. A little underhand toss to second. Or first, rather. They'll get the out, and they'll throw it to second. They'll throw it behind the runner, but Winter was on the bag. So Winter's safe after the sack by Hemlinger, and that brings the top of the order. So if you're head coach Bruce Lasicki, and if you're a Panther, you are exactly where you want to be.
Yeah, you gave yourself a shot here, right? Whether Gaines or Willett can deliver, that's up to them at that point. But I think you have certainly put yourself, if you're EC, in a great position to try to extend this game a little farther.
Tying runs at second in Braden Winter. At the plate, the leadoff hitter, Zach Gaines. On the hill, Brock Berquin. His offering to Gaines swung through, waved at, off-speed pitch. Gaines was way out front. It's strike one. Gaines on the day, hit by a pitch in the first inning, did not score. He flew out to left in his second at-bat, and then he hit a triple over the left fielder's head in his last at-bat and scored a run. Panthers would love another one. Next pitch, fouled off down the left field line. Gaines is in the hole, no balls, 2 strikes. Now, Brock Berquin came in the 6th inning to relieve starter Joe Stevens, the 9th grader who had worked the first 5, and Berquin went 1-2-3 in an inning that my partner Rocco and I thought maybe lasted 3 minutes tops.
If that.
The 0-2 pitch to Gaines, and it's high and outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Berquin working with efficiency and confidence. Within 5 seconds of him receiving the ball from his catcher, Luke Spittler, he's ready to offer it to the plate, and he's ready now. Looks in, looks at second, and stepping out of the plate is Zach Gaines.
Well, you figure anything out of the infield, Ron, is scoring winner from second, or at least you would figure Bruce Lasicki will send him.
1-2 offering. Gaines thought about offering at a high fastball, laid off, and it's a good call. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
How tough is that to take? Regional semifinal to take that?
Gaines has walked 27 times this year. Nobody's even close to him. 2-2 pitch looked at, and they called it for strike 3. I say that before he looks at strike 3 to point out that Zach Gaines has got a great eye, and he did not agree with that, but he is down looking. That is a tough out. second out of the inning. And it all comes down to the left-handed bat of Noah Willett. Willett, the junior center fielder. Can he keep his team in this game? First pitch to Willett. It's high heat that moves him off the plate. It's ball one. At second and running on a batted ball no matter what will be Braden Winter. Berkwin's ready. Here comes the pitch. And it's called a strike?
Yeah.
Okay. It was a less than demonstrative signal from the home plate umpire. It was in the same spot
Similar
that strike
spot,
three
yeah.
to Zach Gaines was, and he was kind of indifferent on both.
Now
so
you
the
know if you're
1-1
Willett.
pitch. Yep, here it comes. Willett swings through heat. Couldn't catch up to it. Crusaders 1 strike away from advancing to the regional championship. Panthers 1 hit away from keeping this game alive. Willett, the junior, at the plate. 1 for 1 today with a base hit, a walk, and a sacrifice. Here comes the pitch. Running is Winter, and Willett fouls it off. Winter running on the 1-2 pitch.
Well, you and I exchange glances on that one, boy. Risky, but aggressive. I like it.
We'll do it again. Winter with the leadoff. Nobody holding him on the bag. Second baseman kind of floating in the area. Berkwin's offering to Willett, and it's high, and it's outside. Counts even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Berkwin has been living high and outside.
Yep.
Finding strikes there or finding a ball there, but that's where he has lived. A lot of heat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Will he throw the off-speed pitch? We'll have to wait. He steps off the back of the rubber.
Everything out, though, to your credit. Does he try to bury something in?
And does Willett just take it and go to left field? Here it comes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Willett fouls it off down the left field line over the third base dugout.
Well, you can tell by his swings he's not trying to do too much with it. He knows he doesn't have to. To your point, he can just float one the other way, and if it gets down, we're probably all squared at 6.
Great at bat by Noah Willett. Willett looking for the hit to keep the game moving. Here comes the pitch. Berkwin inside, and it's a call to strike 3. Wow. He worked Willett outside, and then came back where nobody was expecting it, right on the inside part of the plate. And that's a cold strike 3. Berkwin struck out the number 1 and number 2 hitters in this EC lineup, both looking to end this regional semifinal. Tough loss for the Panthers. They score 4 to start the game, and they lose by a run. 6-5 the final. The EcoTree Services postgame show is next. It's Canton Central Catholic 6, Elyria Catholic 5. We'll be back.
Hi, Tim Elkhorn, radio voice of the Cavs. For several years, you've heard me talk about EcoTree Services on WEOL. Recently, I needed trees removed, so of course, I contacted EcoTree. They did an incredible job. The folks at EcoTree were timely, efficient, and the work was flawless. Take it from me. When your trees need attention or even require removal, contact EcoTree Services. Like me, you'll love their work. Find EcoTree Services online at ecotreeservices.com.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Make sure your investment is protected with Network Land Title Agency. As a locally owned title and escrow company, Network Land Title helps safeguard you from financial loss caused by defects in a property title, giving you peace of mind every step of the way. With services available across all 88 counties in Ohio, their experienced team is ready to help wherever you are. Visit networklandtitle.com today. Network Land Title Agency, safeguarding your investment, ensuring peace of mind.
Graduation season is here, so make North Ridgeville Convenience Sunoco your one-stop graduation party spot. From crowd-pleasing Little Chet's Chicken to fresh jelly trays, cookie trays, and fully prepared party trays, they've got everything you need to feed your guests without the stress. Stock up on ice and drinks, snacks and desserts to keep the celebration going all day long. For everything you need for your graduate, except the diploma, stop by your locally owned and operated North Ridgeville Convenience Sunoco on Center Ridge and Barton Roads.
At Nick Abraham Buick GMC, we make it that easy. Whether you're upgrading to a rugged Sierra or a refined Buick Encore GX, we make the experience better from start to finish. Right now, get the 2026 Buick Encore GX for as low as $24,890. We make it that easy.
Are you undecided about your future and overwhelmed by the options? Well, don't worry, you're not alone. Lorain County Community College has helped thousands of students just like you find their future career. From short-term training programs to transfer options all the way to bachelor degrees, our programs are designed to set you up for future success. Lorain County Community College. Your goals, your career, your future. Enroll today.
At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, you're not just a customer, you're family. And this month, you pay what we pay. Right now, get employee pricing on all Ford vehicles. At Nick Abraham Elyria Ford, we make it that easy. Stop in or shop us at buyabraham.com.
6-5, your final from Canton's Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium in the Division IV regional semifinal. The Canton Central Catholic Crusaders knock off the Elyria Catholic Panthers. Tough loss for EC. A game that started out with great promise. Panthers, the visiting team, batted first, and in the top of the first inning, they scored 4 runs on 4 hits, and they looked like they were on their way. But give Canton Central Catholic credit. They scored 4 themselves in the second inning. They added 2 more in the third inning. They took a 6-4 to lead. The Panthers scored 1 in the fifth. It was 6-5, and that's how it ended. After that first inning, Elyria Catholic had only 1 hit in the next 6. And that hit was in the 5th inning. Zach Gaines hit a triple. He would eventually score a run, the 5th run. But that was it. Credit Joe Stevens, a 9th grader, starting for Canton Central Catholic, and then Brock Berkwin, a 10th grader. Those were the 2 pitchers of record for Canton Central Catholic. They shut down Elyria Catholic's bats today. Panthers with 4 hits and 4 runs in the first inning. They got only 1 hit the rest of the day. And they really didn't get anybody on too much. They had a runner on a walk in the second. They had a runner on a strikeout that was a wild pitch in the 4th. And then they had a runner on a hit by pitch in the 7th, but only 1 hit. So you've got to give credit to the pitching of 2 very young right-handers, Joe Stevens and Brock Berkwin, for Canton Central Catholic. They certainly were wise beyond their seasons here today at Munson Memorial Stadium. If you look at hitting-wise for Elyria Catholic, you had Gaines, who had the triple. You had White, who had a single. Doss had a single. Knapp had a single. And Willett had a single. You had 5 guys each with a base hit, and Gaines was the only extra base hit. And that was it. Canton Central Catholic behind a lot of Elyria Catholic walks and a lot of Panther wild pitches, too, led to several of their 6 runs. Thoughts, partner?
Well, first and foremost, you know, your hearts break for Bruce Lisicki and the EC Panthers if you're an EC faithful or if you're in and around Lorain County hoping to see our local teams continue to advance. It was a real special group that we got to know pretty well, I think, these last couple of weeks in covering, you know, this postseason run. Like you said earlier in the broadcast, Ron, we saw them a couple of times throughout the regular season. Yeah,
on our area.
Right,
yeah.
right. And just to see some of the frustration from some of those guys, you know, hands on the hips, they're all still in their post-game huddle as, you know, head coach Bruce Lisicki talks to him. You see Jojo Jansura, some of the frustration on his face. He's a senior. What a career that he had. Isaiah Amaris, I'm sure he has a lot of emotions going through his head right now as well. Zach Gaines, of course, as well in that group. Just a real special group of seniors. But, and you said it, Ron, and we pointed to it a couple of times, especially late in the broadcast as they started to really pile up against EC. It was the free bases that you gave Canton Central Catholic, whether that was via the walk, whether that was giving guys extra bases on the base pass from the wild pitch or a passed ball, whatever the case may be. A couple of errors defensively, sure, but I think even aside from those, just kind of those freebies, the gimmies that you just can't afford to give teams at this stage, especially one of the caliber of Canton Central Catholic. But give Elyria Catholic all kinds of credit, man. An absolute fight, a heck of a fight from them today. ultimately one that sees their season come to a close, and I'm sure a lot sooner than what many of those guys in green over there in short right field would have wanted. But a real fantastic effort. Really enjoyed covering these guys in recent weeks, and you certainly hope that Coach Lisicki is able to bring back a real nice group next year and take another crack at a postseason run. I know they're losing some real talented seniors and some guys that really produced offensively and defensively and pitching-wise as well, but boy, just a real good effort from them today. Got off to a real good start, but as you said, Ron, it's not always enough. You look at their district semi or district final against Marlington when it was the Dukes that got off to a hot start, settling in kind of a 180 on that front today. But hats off to Coach Lisicki and his guys. An excellent postseason, and really appreciate them working with us in terms of covering them this year.
Bruce Lisicki couldn't have been more helpful to me. This was the 5th time. They played 28 games, and 5 of those in the last part of the season in the tournament run games I was a part of as a broadcaster, and Bruce was outstanding. So a huge thank you to Coach Lisicki and all the help that he has given me. His team finishes the year 18 wins, 10 losses. It was their 3rd trip to the regionals since 2016. In 2016, they played in a regional final, and in 2019 and here in 2026, they dropped one in the regional semifinal. But outstanding year, great run. He really thought the team started gelling near the end of the year. Specifically, he pointed out the Wellington game on senior night. He thought that the team really started to feed off of their own energy, and that energy took them all the way to the Sweet 16. And aren't many clubs in high school baseball that can say you made it to the Sweet 16 in any given season, and the Panthers did that this year in Division IV. Canton Central Catholic's going to improve to 22-5-1 on the year. They're going to take on Youngstown Cardinal Mooney right back here at Munson Memorial Stadium on Thursday at 2 o'clock. Partner, you and Rob, or not you and Rob, you and Jared,
yeah,
will be doing the Comets of Amherst tomorrow night.
Yeah, Division II regional semifinal at Oberlin College. That was a site for Coach Roz and his guys last year on their tournament trail. So they will hope to punch their ticket to the Elite Eight if they can find a way to knock off Brecksville Broadview Heights. That'll be, like you said, Ron, myself, and Jared Kozar tomorrow. Hoping to do a morning pregame interview with Roz, so maybe we'll take pregame, I don't know, 4:30, 4:40 thereabouts. But first pitch scheduled for 5 o'clock. You can find that one, well, right where you're listening now on WEOL.com and on that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. It'll be a different link on the YouTube, but again, you navigate to that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. That's where you'll find us tomorrow. Again, Amherst and Brecksville Broadview Heights, 5 o'clock, Division II regional semi.
Want to thank our sponsors, not only today but all season long, and as they continue to be a part of our broadcast tomorrow night at Oberlin College. Your North Ridgeville Convenient Sunoco at Center Ridge and Barton Road, North Ridgeville Convenient Sunoco, a part of our broadcast every